And we got Bananas in chat from Kilgore1311, Shambasm96, iBelzebub, Camo J123, Julia, Charlie Panda, Badger Spanner, Smickle Beer, I Love Cats, Lo Wenzan 12, The Arctic Viking, Shizuku again, Professor Dr. Pug, and Birdie J373. These are just some of the fantastic people putting bananas in chat. The bananas in chat mean that we are live on the twitch.tv/theassumer. And if you're watching on the second channel, hello on YouTube. Hello YouTube. Welcome back to another live stream. Peeps, what are we going to do today? Where's my list? Where's my list of things we're going to do today? Yes, we're going to do that straight away, and that requires me to take a particular thing with me. I think I left this particular thing at the location. Let's go to the location. Oh, what is this mysterious? I'm getting on a new level, peeps. Okay, I'm getting you suspensed for what's going to happen. We're going to some mysterious location. I tell you what, it's not that exciting. It's not that exciting. But that is loud. That is loud. And peeps, I have prepared and done some stuff for streaming that I don't think I'm going to use today, but we'll do a test. Okay, so check this out, right? If I press that, oh goodness me. Oh, okay, then okay. So now I can go into recording mode, right? Now I can hit the record button, and I'm recording while streaming. And I'll look at this video later on and see is it any good. But right now, if you're experiencing any change in quality, I mean, it's the worst time to do this because we're literally just in a horrible, like, you know, Nether thing that just looks terrible on video. But essentially, I am recording video and streaming, which means I can do a Joe Hills thing and perhaps be more productive with my video making. Anyway, let's conclude this test. I'm no longer recording, and we're back to the live setup. Now, apparently this means that the screen goes blank for a second, and that's fine. That is fine, my friends. I might know a way to make that a little bit more streamlined. I'll think about it. Yeah, I'll use my noggin. I'll use my brain. So we had pre-stream subscribers. The Arctic Viking for 2 months. Mon PJC for 5 months. And Wobzernada, subscriber of Amazon Prime. Thank you to the 3 of you for your support. Mon PJC says hi. X, really good to catch another stream. Love your content. Keep inspiring, buddy. Thank you for the lovely message, my friend. Professor Dr. Pug is here resubscribing for 18 months in a row. Sorry, 20 months. I've got to look at the end first. I wish I could configure that and change it. We've got to look at the end first. Apparently the sub notification didn't go through last time. Whatever. Well, 20 months. I thank you ever so much for your support, buddy. I appreciate it. And while we're here, let's take a step back. Those were 36 for 100, right? There is something else that I can do that I didn't think I would be doing. Oh, wait. Am I going to be short here? Short by 6. Right. Here's my post-stream notes. Tell us, Scowl, we need 6 more skulls. Brilliant. What a great start to the stream. Already I've managed to I've pre-derped. I pre-derped this stream. The stream is cursed. I have to do sensitive things, and now I'm very worried that we might accidentally spawn a wither. You know? Do you know? Smickle Beer is... Apparently I can't jump sideways. Smickle Beer is here. Resubscribed for 4 months saying, hey, been a while since I was able to catch a stream, but I'm back. Well, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoy what we get up to here today. Did I ever change... Yeah, I remember. I changed back that one beacon that needed changing back, didn't I? I wouldn't make a mistake and accidentally leave it in the wrong setting. That's not like me. Fortnite for Life, thank you for the nice message, buddy. Hello from the U of K, I shall say. I shall say hello from that U that is of the K. Billman68 is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Get out from under my head. And also Badger Spanner is resubscribed for 5 months, saying hello YouTube. Today I have very exciting subversary to show you guys. Is that the 5 months? Or is it something else? Badger, thank you so much for your continued support. I hope you're enjoying the stream today. We have the Seraph Project. The Seraph Project. Resubscribed for 2 months. Saying, hey X, how have you been? I've been fantastic. Thanks for asking, buddy. And I will tell you why. I will tell you why. Cap the Dragon is here subscribing with Amazon Prime. Cap the Dragon, thanks for using the Prime subscription on me. I appreciate you doing that. And then we have the Seraph Project, gifting subs to Wild Alex 713 and the Slow Brosif. Thank you for doing that, the Seraph Project. I appreciate you supporting peeps in the community. Thank you for gifting the subs. And if you just heard your name read out, you're now a subscriber here. Fantastic, right? We got Firilol as well, subscribing with Prime for 21 months. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Saying, was great to see the episode after hanging out in the streams. Turned out great. Thank you, I appreciate that. The whole episode thing has really reinvigorated my passion for Hermitcraft. When I was realising, hey, this has been like an episode and I could have produced it as one, and then I had to change it retroactively, it just really kind of like got me thinking about the pride of video making and wanting to make better videos. And so I feel like my next episode, although it's a bit more of a shorter sort of breeze through things kind of episode, I'm just approaching things now with this angle of like, what can I do each episode to make this better? And I'm just excited for Hermitcraft in general. Iscal also gave me a tour of his base today, and that was very inspirational. I keep finding myself inspired towards this kind of live in the area you play in, and I think maybe part of that has something to do with playing decentralized this season. Taking a little bit aback from that, and so I've got a whole like world of inspiration going on at the moment. Also, us hermits have had, or I wasn't there, had a meeting. Actually, no, I won't say what the meeting was about, just because I wasn't there, and although I've heard what the meeting was about, probably best for other people to say, if they want to say. You know? Taribo08 is here, resubscribed for 8 months. 8 months, thank you so much, Taribo, appreciate it. Taribo was one of the streamers the other day in the Let's Play Minecraft Together stream. That was a fantastic event, I thought. I watched little bits of the other people streaming while I was working on the episode, and then I had a fantastic time touring the server. I was going to continue the tour, and I probably will at some point. I decided, though, I wanted to do Hermitcraft. I've just had all this wave of inspiration at the moment, so we'll probably conclude the touring of the Let's Play Minecraft Together server after this weekend, because this weekend, today and tomorrow, will be Hermitcraft. Then I'll probably take a day off, and well, I was trying deliberately not to do that, but I fell down. Okay, and we got so many noises in the air. I wanted to tell you about what I've been eating, peeps, and now I've got to read these noises. Oh my goodness me. Okay, so I Love Cats is here with a donation. Cats, thank you as always, my friend. Truly do appreciate your support. Saying, good morning, X. How are you? Just wanted to ask if you've heard the new single from Dream Theater, Paralysed. I just listened to it, and it's so good. And then do not read out loud. Okay, Cats, what I will say is, you're never obliged to do anything. It's always there for you if you want to do it. So, you do you, man. And thank you so much for the donation. I have not heard the song. I didn't really enjoy the last Dream Theater album that much retrospectively. It was just such a big record, and it was so difficult to like get through it all that when I saw they had a new record out, I was just like, I'm going to pass this time. There's a lot of bands that I just listen to in year in, year out, and they don't really change their sound or do anything different. And Dream Theater is one of those ones. As amazing they are, as much as I like progressive metal, I just thought, hey, this is going to be the same thing. I'm going to not listen to their album this year and try and find something different to listen to, something new, something fresh. So I haven't heard the song. However, if Dream Theater are putting out something really good, that's going to be tempting, you know. That's going to be tempting. So we've got Callum Fight resubscribing for 20 months, saying, "Hey X, Hope Physio. Oh my goodness me, I can't read. Physio is helping. The shoulder's slowly getting better. I've got a feeling that when I go there, they're basically going to tell me like the healing process is slow, so everything's all right. Just give it another week. I mean, that's what I'm suspecting. And I've been putting ice on it. I sat down for 40 minutes with ice on it today. Every day I've been trying to do that twice. I'm going to do it after the stream again. But dude, thank you so much for your 20 months of support. We got Ibelzebul here gifting subs. If you hear your name being read out, you've been gifted a sub by Beezabel, so thank you so much for supporting the community. Graham 1701, Kenry 26, and the channel 101. Thank you for coming to the stream and checking it out. You are now a subscriber thanks to Beelzebul, so feel free to put a love heart in chat as a way of saying thanks. And do appreciate the support as always, peeps. Tremendous amount of support when we come out here and do the streams. We got Birdie J 373 gifting a sub to Why Are All These Taken? That is a great username. That is a great username. It just expresses this, like, I'm signing up for this website and every name I put in is taken. Love it. Thank you so much, peeps. Truly do appreciate it. We have Let's Do It 1379 subscribing with the Prime. Thank you again. Thank you again. Right, we are caught up on noises in the air. Again, I thank everyone, because do appreciate it. And, well, wait a minute. I thought I was done, but I'm not, apparently. Jeez, there's another noise in the air. Oh, the noises in the air, they just don't stop sometimes. They just don't stop. One of these has... Oh, wait, I've got a thingy in here. So I'm going to make some of those, some of those, right? And then tidy up. Oh, my goodness me. So many dispensers. Why did I make so many? And there's even more. There's even more, peeps. Now, the next thing we're going to do is slightly scary. Very slightly scary. I'm going to put some of these in place now. So we have Mad Ninja Gaming, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Mad Ninja Gaming, thank you ever so much for your support. I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the stream. Thank you for using the Prime on me. And then we have Katz's message. Nether might... Did I say it was cats? It was cats with the noise in the air. Okay. That moment where I thought I was done with the noises in the air, and then Cats is here saying, never mind what I said before. I got to go now. Hope you have a wonderful time. Next week I'm going home Thursday instead of Friday, so I'll definitely be in a few streams. Catch you later. Awesome. Hope to see you next week then, man. Have a great week, and thank you as always for your support. See, I didn't want to fall down here, did I? But I fell down. That was the thing that we did. We're going to fall down loads of times. Is the plural of cats catses? There are lots of catses. Possibly. I don't know how plurals of plurals work. We also got another noise in the air from Ace34, who is subscribing with Amazon Prime. Ace34, thank you ever so much for your subscription. Do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. Jas the Savage, thank you ever so much for hosting me. I appreciate you doing that. X, what are you working on right now? Says Rick and Angel. I'm preparing the Wither Fight farm area for the Wither Fight by placing down a whole bunch of these Wither Skulls. And I could accidentally, you know, place one in the wrong place, and I would run away like a chicken. You are not perfectly aligned, which is really not worth the hassle, is it? But hey, that happened. Oh, you're not perfectly aligned either. They must all be I need to concentrate more. I keep sort of falling off and messing this one up, messing that one up. That's what I do. I look at chat and I mess things up. See, I'm blaming all of y'all now. I'm blaming all of y'all. Okay, here we go. Are you going to stream in the Wither event? Now, we're not going to stream it. We'll record it together. But it's just going to be a big group event. Like, I'm not sure how much of it will actually make videos, just because it's going to be chaos. So it's really just about us having fun as a group and doing this, you know. Do we have a Ren dog in chat? Or did Ren just log in? I saw... Ren logged in. Scars logged up. I'm ignoring the chat. I'm being behind on stuff. We got a noise in the air. It is... Cram Ham, here with a donation. Cram Ham, thank you ever so much for your support. I do appreciate you doing that. Hey X, do you have any idea what the mysterious head is about that haunts the HRN? Green and Ren both saw it while no one else was online. I watched Ren's video and I was trying to suss out what was going on. I was like, is this a zombie with a head on that's also got an invisibility potion on it? And like, no one else is online, and it's... I mean... There's all these old tales about the London Underground having ghosts. I love ghost stories. I love stuff about aliens and conspiracies, but I take it all with a pinch of salt. I'm like curious, but that doesn't mean like I instantly believe in stuff. And you know, the London Underground is kind of creepy, and there's some fascinating stories and pictures you can find of creepy stuff. Yeah, just you bringing that up reminded me of like how well, I think most things end up with, like, anything can really end up with this idea that it's being haunted, right? But one of the things that often gets cited as being haunted is the London Underground. I've been on the Underground many times, and I have never seen anything slightly suspicious or creepy. Okay. Cramham, thank you again for the support. I do appreciate it. Hope you have a good time hanging out with us. The Vixen38 is here subscribing. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And Little Joe 27 is here resubscribing for 12 months, and that's 1 year, and that's a goldie face in chat, and that means you've got to show your goldie face off to all the peeps. It says both 10 and 12 months sub, but I think it's 11. It will probably be 10 in a row, 12 in total, and 11 because 11 would be the actual, like, because, you know, when you first resubscribe, it's only been a month, but it says 2. By the way, I've just realised that I've got a hot cup of tea here, and we are 16 minutes into the stream, and that is absolute success, okay? You know, y'all should congratulate me. Some of you are probably already going to do that if you've been here many times before. You've heard X moan about forgetting his cup of tea. Today it's hot, today it's prime, today I'm going to drink it, and that is all good in the hood, you know what I mean? Right, now let's get the last of these down. There's no way I'm putting them in the dispensers, even though there's no way to activate this redstone. I think that'll do for now. You know, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We got the Arctic Viking here doing cheers and throwing bits, saying love your work and your live streams are great. They're great. Thank you so much, the Arctic Viking. Thank you for your support, and I'm glad you enjoy the live streams. I always look forward to a live stream. It is always a fun and fantastic time for us to hang out. All good in the hood, says the Cocaine Samurai. Indeed, all good in the hood. Belzebub says X needs a tea warmer. I looked into those USB powered ones, and from what I could tell, they're kind of overhyped and they're not very good. So I kind of just went, alright, I won't bother. Now. Whew, that is some tasty tea right there. Slow and Twitch says, how do you feel about Pokemon Sword and Shield being located in a UK-based region? I don't even know what that question means. You know, I understood Pokemon. I know what those are. But that's all I understood. What's up with the back-to-back stream? Is it Hermitcraft stream day, says Goat Unicorn? I'm basically going to play this, log off, go to, you know, not straight away, but eventually I'll go to sleep, and when I wake up I'll do a stream, and so it's kind of like back-to-back, you know, night and then morning, and that'll be in between the episodes that I publish. I mean, it's more for me than it is for you now that I think about it. It's like I'm the one doing the back-to-back. For you it's just streams, but yeah, for some reason I felt the need to call it a back-to-back thing. So if that was confusing, I apologise. Let's go grab these, put them in there. And grab that. And that was our first little job to do. So I wanna breeze through some things. I want to be productive today. Now the other thing was to prep Witherfight gear on my list. So we should go and create some armour that's going to be disposable, i.e. it's going to get destroyed for the fight. Emergency says, oh, I should make myself some tea. Good idea, always a good idea. I've heard small whispers on the underground, or it was the voice of things being broken or something, says Freens Lewis. Do you know what? I think it's really easy to see things you want to see and imagine things you want to see. Like, as someone who likes being scared, as strange as that sounds, like I like scary movies, I like being creeped out, it's like an adrenaline rush. I like pay attention to how the mind works, and when you're in that state of being scared or suggestible, you can just see like faces in patterns or think you see something in the dark, and I really think like having an active imagination can play into things. And if you want to hear these things, or you want to be more disposed to them, there are so many ambiguous things coming towards your senses that usually get just kind of dialed out and tuned out. And I think sometimes you can interpret those ambiguous sounds and things as being more than they are. That would be me talking about me personally, and maybe that applies to other people when I say you can, you know. One One ping only, please. One ping only, please. Thank you ever so much for your 6 months of support. I do appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure I probably read your name differently and butchered it in the past. I've got a sneaky suspicion. But thank you ever so much for the support. Okay, somewhere around here there are books. Didn't I actually label the ones with books in? I did. So we want protection and blast resistance and probably unbreaking. I mean, that looks good. If that's kind of really good, that's what we want. And then we can combine it with that. Probably want some weapons as well. Like, we're going to need smite. And we're going to need something for the bow. Because we do need to take weapons in with us. Blast protection. That is exactly what we're after. Not going to bother with sweeping edge. In fact, that one I'm going to hold on to. Yeah, I might just take a couple of smite books and make weapons for... Or put these aside for other people to use, right? Hang on, we're seeing some protections here. We're going to need feather falling for the boots, even though we'll most likely be, you know, not falling. Not falling. I've got that Mud Vein song in my head now. Got mud in my veins all of a sudden. Now, fire aspect is for the sword. I don't think withers really stay on fire, do they? So, we have a noise in the air. It's the one and only Eagle Fam here. Throwing some bits, doing some cheers, saying, show love, blog. Eagle, thank you so much for your continued support as always. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Hermitcraft stream. We're doing the slightly boring thing now of fishing through, looking for the right kind of enchantments. You know, fire protection might be good if there's lava around, but there isn't much in that area, which is why I picked that area. Now, is there anything else I'm not thinking of? I haven't seen a lot of unbreaking, or I haven't really been paying enough attention, because I'm trying to read chat. You know, we were starting to talk a little bit about ghosts and stuff. Hi, X, could you show us the Nether hub, says Arthur Frankin. We're probably going to go through the Nether hub in just a moment. Aha, there we go. Is Riptide the really good one for the trident, though? Because that's something I don't want to overuse. We got more noises in the ear. It's Love Do 101. Subscribe with Amazon Prime. Love Do, thank you for your subscription. I appreciate that. And Shizuku3158 is here, resubscribing for 9 months. The Twitch baby saying 1 more month for the real Twitch baby. The real Twitch baby. Thank you ever so much for the support as always, peeps. Do appreciate it. And I hope, and you knew I was going to say that, I hope you're enjoying the stream. Okay, that's one chest. There's more. Oh, there's not more. There's basically not more. So you have to do enchantments at a specific level to get the feather falling boots, and that's fine. What we will do is take our valuables in our backpack, so that's all good, but the means also to make some more books and enchant them. There's 12 there, and I'm pretty sure I've got a little sash of leather somewhere. Okay, now I'm going to have a sip more on my tea. And Tobias says, what's your favourite animal? I love all animals. I think animals are amazing. Delicious. My lamp looks like a creepy face in the dark, says Frines123 Lewis. Yeah, see, there you go. Like, it looks like a creepy face because that's your brain, like, thinking of it in that way, right? Like, you don't look at it and go, oh, that's like, you know, photons and the lack of them. It's like, the brain is the part there that connects the dots. Okay, again, leather. You know, if they're not in those ones, they're probably not in these other ones. I thought I had a little bit more leather. Well, maybe we don't have to enchant so many books, but we do need diamonds, which are in there. However, I do have some extra, so we'll grab these. Might need a little bit of lapis. Might as well bring some with me since it's there. And hey, aha, we'll grab that. That'll be good. Oh, these things are full of it. These things are full of what we need. How could I forget? How could I forget that I had oodles and noodles of good stuff, right? And when I say oodles and noodles, I mean oodles and noodles. Okay, so we want an axe first of all for the. Do you have unbreaking? Yes, you do. Diamond helmet. We'll make one to enchant one, so we'll grab that. Ah, more books, of course. Not going to bother with an elytra. Not going to need any shovels. Now, there's the good stuff. There's some other good stuff. And here's some more good stuff. Right, so we'll be shuffling through more of these things, and we got more noises in the ear. Jeez, there's loads of them coming in right here. It looks like we've had some sort of sub-bomb. The Seraph Project is here again. Gifting subs. The Seraph Project, thank you so much for supporting the community. I appreciate you gifting subs to some of the peeps who have tuned in. If you hear your name being read out loud, we got Loritz Gaming, Cramham, Akild1, and Berserk Loon. You are now all subscribers, thanks to the Seraph Project. Appreciate you doing that. Also, you gifted a sub to Cramham. Cramham already subscribed today, right? So I guess it can stack onto other people's subscriptions. Or am I mistaken? Again, thank you everyone. And we also got Darth Medi here, resubscribing for 23 months. Next month, if you're still subscribing, that'll be a diamond face in chat right there. Anyway, thank you everyone, appreciate it. Let's look at these. Oh, it's so exciting. Do you know what? I'm gonna need to create a shulker box of things we're gonna take with us. That's the name of the shulker box. The shulker box of things we're gonna take with us. Alright, the excitement is real, the hype is here. Okay, calm down peeps, goodness me, it's just a chest. This one's probably got the better stuff in, right? Is what I'm thinking. And we got another noise in the air here. It's Starry Eyes 313. Resubscribing for 20 months. Saying, hey X, I've been loving your Parkitect streams, catching up on YT, YouTube. Have you tried the Coaster Cam mod yet? Say what? The Coaster Cam mod? Okay, that's going on my list of things to do after the stream, goodness me. Great suggestion. Thank you so much for the support. I will probably play another round of that at some point. So when we get to it, we'll hopefully have that mod and be able to check it out. I remember doing this in the past and just being utterly hopeless at actually reading what was on these books. But today I feel rather focused. I've had some good food. I feel energetic. You know, it's just a good day. Hey, we need that blast protection. You see, my brain is ticking over. Now, some of you are probably going to start pointing out that I missed something important, but I just say, quiet. Quiet now. Right. That's that one done. We have some in here. Fawns. Fawns would actually be good. Depth Strider. Not sure we need that. Don't really need looting. Protection 4 though. Although I'd rather hold on to the looting with that. Mending. I am not going to put mending on any of this armor because it will be one-time use really. Didn't really think. Wow, that has got crazy stuff on it. Hold on to that one. Okay, so what about... Yeah, look at this. You see, maybe I will, because fire... No, not fire protection. Okay, maybe I won't. We do need protection 4 twice, and then blast protection twice. So, maybe I will... you see... I could put protection over... No, actually, I don't want mending, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that's more like one that I'd want. Oh, those are identical. And 3 in a row that are identical? That's kind of weird. Now that might be what we want. Feather Falling Protection 4. Protection 4. Yeah, I'm going to have to change my mind on one of these and convert it to a different enchantment. So that's not so great. Right, another one full of books. And we've been through all of that. Okay, so this is the last chest to fish through right here. How could you miss that Unbreaking 5 book, says Jess? There's no such thing as Unbreaking 5. You're trolling me. Evercase says, are you the only hermit that streams on Twitch? No, Full Symmetry, Rendog, Iskal, Joe, I believe, although he streams on all the platforms, and Cubfan. Quite a few peeps stream here on Twitch. You know, Twitch was the streaming platform for the longest time, and YouTube was naff. And I signed a contract with Twitch, and, you know, it probably would be better now just to stream on YouTube, but I'm not sure if I really want to make that switch. We've kind of got a thing going on over here. Okay, so looting, sweeping edge. Wow, that's just amazing, isn't it? Blast protection again. I'm glad we fished out a few of those. We've got some choices here. We've probably got more than what we need, but then I can pick the ones where we don't waste the other enchantments, is the idea. Feather Falling. I think we already got that sussed out, but just in case. We need that Unbreaking. Oh yeah, we're going to make a bow as well. And we got... Oh goodness me, it's a sub-bomb from Eagle. Well, there's going to be some noises in my ear now. Hey, what about that one? Is that identical to this? No. That's... I mean, the other one's better, is what I'm saying. Flame and Punch. Yeah, that one's even better. So I should just Totally rename that one. Right, okay, anyway, these all need to go back in the valuables box. Valuables, valuables. I just had an amazing idea for a redstone contraption. I like it when you've got like a chest with shulker boxes in. But what about a chest with shulker boxes in that could then deploy them? Like you press a button and it just goes boop, 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 and like plops them all down. How would that work? I can think of some ways using minecarts. My mind's ticking over now. It is ticking over. Huh. Peeps, do you fancy doing some live redstone? I fancy doing some live redstone. We got Entity Cramming resubscribing for 3 months. Saying, hi Asuma, I hope you have a nice stream. And yes, the episode was indeed epic. The Nether Hub looks amazing. It was epic, wasn't it? Let's actually go to that place. Let's just make sure. Yeah, look, almost derped. Hashtag almost derped. No, not today. Not today, my friends. Today is a good one. Today was a good day. Do you know why? Because I didn't have to use my AK. Some of you saw that coming. Okay, and you thought, that dork, he's going to make a reference. Jeez. Oh. Okay, right. Let's get to these noises in the ear here while I fly around the Nether Hub. I'm going to give you some Nether Hub glory. I got no food. Okay, golden carrots it is. My food of choice. I'm going to give you some Nether Hub glory while I read the names of the people who have been gifted subs. So Eagle Fam, thank you once again so much for supporting the community here. Sorbet 1, Perkabeth Fyro Chase, Smellin 1MK3, MRD 3RP, Wannington. Fell in a hole. There we go. Oh, I don't even need the one at the bottom. I don't even need the one at the bottom. Why did I not suss that out before? I'll come back at some point. Actually, I'm just going to do it now. I'm going to replace that with a slab. Okay, can I get a slab from that? Oh! Oh, I'm on a roll! Oh, but now I need the other types of slabs. And they're back in my... Oh, this is ridiculous. Why did I choose to touch it? Let's go get the other slabs. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, J-Dubs TV, Juan Attempts, Electric Blue, Unbowed, Unbent Unbroken, Ajat 2005, Eric's 90, and those are all the gifted subs. Thank you again so much, Eagle. Appreciate ya doing that. Rummo says derp, question mark? Not a derp. Not a derp. Okay. It's not a derp. Why does he use golden carrots, says Shade? Because they're the best food in the game. Best saturation. Saturation is the key. Okay. Don't become desaturated. Right, that's simple. Now, where is my lovely dark prismarine? It's right here. Let's go back. We also got Mickey Snipe, resubscribing for 23 months. Thank you so much, my friend. One more month. Goldie face. Sorry, diamond face in chat. Ricking Angel says, let's be honest, X, everything you do is a derp. Even reading your message was a derp. What was I thinking about? I was going to talk about something a minute ago. Oh, yeah, we're going to do that redstone contraption. Oh, yeah, I got an idea. The only problem is the way I'm thinking about it at the moment, this idea would be performed rather linearly. Linearly? Is that even a... Wait! Go back! Go back. And place thy blocks. Thy blocks have been placed, thy master. Oh, how if do we talk alike of this? There be ghast dangly things from thy ceiling. Okay. Okay, this is going to happen a lot this season. Okay, people are going to come in here. I need to go somewhere. Oh no! What's that? I'm distracted. I'm flying around looking at the amazing, beautiful map that we have built together. Oh my goodness me, what a project. What a project. Taribo says, hey X, I recently found a game called Ordinauts and it's still on better. I think you'd like seeing it how you enjoyed Factoria. I believe I played that game and it was... When I played it, it was really kind of like basic and just like you could see kind of what was going on but no depth to it yet. Now, why are we here? We're here because we want to go there. Oh, my head. Ow. Ow. I just banged it into bedrock, people. Goodness me. Can I? Yeah, okay, I can. A little bit more flying to do here. Oh. Hunterm342, thank you so much for a nice message. Yep, the Nether Hub is just an amazing Hermitcraft project. That's what Hermitcraft's all about, you know, next level Minecraft. Oh, goodness me, that's some noise in my ear. Whew, and not the good time. Not the good kind, there, words, stuff. Okay, so we need lots of XP to do what we're going to do. While I'm here, I figured I might also repair my stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to now stand here looking downwards. And you're thinking, that's not a good idea. I'll tell you it's a good idea, just you wait. Just you wait. Is there any further plans aside from the current ones in this season, says Rabix? I mean, I've got plans for this season, other people have got plans, and I'm sure new plans will emerge and new group ideas will emerge as well. Okay, now here's where we're going to do some voodoo magic. Oh yeah, that thing's still there. That makes sense why that... No, actually, it doesn't make sense why that appears. Oh, okay, so I use Streamlabs OBS and Stream Deck, and what I've noticed is that it's forgetting to remember stuff on my little hotkeys quite often. That's better. That's more like it, you know. That's what I want to entertain everyone with, a black screen. Now let's go and press that and it should update. Okay, there we go, we're back. Sweet. And we're just going to test. Test! That's what I'm calling this world. Wait a minute, I have a test world for this stuff, right? Oh, that I made by mistake. And we want to go in here. Why would people use the Nether Hub or the HRN, says Adam Vorg. What would you people use more even? Well, I mean, two different experiences. You got the best of two different worlds in a way. Let's come over to a new platform. Let's clear thy inventory of thy messiness. And we're going to look at what it would be like to have a bunch of shulker boxes inside of a chest. And deploying them, right? So... yeah, got to think this through quite a bit. We'll start off just by putting a placeholder chest full of shulker boxes. And that means I can just get loads on demand. Very good. Clear thy inventory again. Thou is thanketh for thy inventory clearing. Okay, that's going to get annoying. Okay, so we would have this thing inside of a hopper. The hopper would be locked, right? Start off with the basics and get more complicated later. That's a good way to do things. Okay, so here is... apparently it's a trap chest. That's not what I want. I'd like a regular chest. The regular chest isn't in the redstone tab. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Makes perfect sense. Right, so we could have a double chest. And if we think about how many slots this is, it's too many for starting off with, so we're not even going to worry about it. Now, one of the things we'll... oh, that one will take, so we don't want to do that. One of the things we want to do is just kind of establish some basics here. So... the hopper chain would go in the other direction, and when we activate it, this thing becomes unpowered. Shulkers inside of it would travel along, and then we would want them to get dispensed, okay? But we only want one in each, is the deal. So there's going to be this row, then one below it that picks them up, and then your dispensers. I don't know if, you know, whatever I'm doing now is going to stick. So Shulker would get dispensed around here. Then we would also want to have a piston and then a means to pick it up and send it back to whence it came. Now we don't want to run our hoppers underneath the dropper, and we also want to have like a, you know, this might make more sense being there because we want a bit of redstone available on the side. So then we're going to have, these need to be droppers. We'd have a dropper elevator to put things back in when they're done, right? So we got that. Good. Right, then these pistons would need like a line of redstone to activate them. We'll put this put it out front. You'd probably want the front interface to be flush, right? You want this to be your floor, but we're just figuring things out one step at a time. So then that's not bug powered, and then we have these things like so. Now if we were to just make this a single chest, it would be like 27 of them, which, you know, it's a bit much for doing it like this, I guess is what I'm thinking. Charlie says, just joined, what's being built? You know, I'm making like a shulker box deployer. I've just had a really interesting idea for this though. As I've seen one problem and other solutions come to mind. So, LoveDo101 is here with donations, saying, I just thought I would help support you for the first time. I love to watch your streams. Well, thank you ever so much for doing that. I do appreciate it. Thank you for your donation. I'm glad you enjoy watching the streams. I love streaming. It's fun. And now we're doing some live Redstone, which is definitely going to involve some derps, right? Definitely going to involve some derps. What is the layout of this again? 27. You know, can we divide that into 3 rows of 9? 3, 3. I don't think it divides into another grid particularly well. Like 3 rows of 5, then you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it wouldn't go into rows of 5. Could it go into rows of 6? You'd have 3 left over. I mean, you could also maybe say don't put more than a certain amount. I'm going to go with 3 by 9. Let's give me... Okay, yeah. So let's say we go with something like this. We've got to think about how the player accesses this stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that might actually not be the best way to do this. Okay, but for now, let's just imagine that we've got all these hoppers, right? Oh no, wait a minute. I might have got ahead of myself here. So I was thinking if these 4 slots are blocked up, then when a shulker is in there, the next one has to stay in there as well. Thing is, we have to stop 4 slots from letting the items flow into here, and then you would need redstone to let your shulker box in. Now I've sort of jumped the gun there. So I don't think it's possible to do a wall like that where one shulker goes into each dispenser. Okay, but this system that I got over here, the idea is that this back here would be locked. Let's grab some of this until 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we could actually say that the maximum amount is 15, so you only put 15 shulkers in that chest, basically. We got Kent Paras here, resubscribing for 8 months. Kent Paras, thank you ever so much for your 8 months of support. I appreciate that, and I hope that you enjoy the stream. I just thought of something as well. When I record for YouTube with our new setup, I need like a universal sort of pause music button. I wonder if this thing has it. Would it be a system key? Multimedia. Let's drag that one there. Previous track. Alright, so play pause. So I got a play pause button now? Okay, it didn't work. Well, don't know if I can configure that, but that's something else I'd need, right? I need to pause the music before I record. Anyway, Tuxaban says, X, is there a reason why you want to dispense a load of them at once? You seem to be complicating it by having loads of dispensers. Yeah, that's the whole point, is to dispense them all, right? It's like, I want to look in these shulker boxes and then deploy them and then put them back. You know, it might even be a good idea to develop this system to work with multiple chests. I'm not like acting like this is some sort of storage system revolution or anything. I'm just playing with the idea. That. Okay, I'm thinking twice now, which is a problem. I'm talking and I'm doing redstone. I'm just thinking this might be a cool way to interact with the things in your chest, basically. Alright, so if we go and put this thing here, and then I guess I could just use a comparator, but I think you should use a repeater. So everything is locked, thus meaning, if I remember how this works, okay, we would have to wait, so that needs to be 1 higher, something to reach the end in order for it to unpower the wire. Okay, so your shulker boxes will get all the way across here. And then you're going to have a bunch of dispensers to put them out. Then you're going to have a bunch of hoppers to collect them and a bunch of pistons to knock them out. And it's, you know what, it's pretty big, it's pretty bulky, it's not very practical. If there were a way to put them into a wall of dispensers, that would probably be the best, I think. So, before we get to that though, I mean, just got loads of ideas in my head now as to how you could do this. So we want to put 15 of them in there, just break that and see if it works. Okay, so one row is 9, then we need an additional 6. Okay, so in go all these shulker boxes, they shouldn't go anywhere. So you could have that many in there, you could look at what they are and whatever. Okay, now we break that and they go out one by one. And then eventually they're going to reach the end here. Right, now that should have put them all into the dispensers. No, it's put them into the hoppers. Oh, did that blink twice? I think when it blinked a second time... Now why would it blink a second time? Okay, there's one missing in the middle. You know, the concept is there. I don't know what I did wrong. You're also going to need something to power the dispensers, which could be repeaters pointing in at this direction. There's probably a smarter way of doing it. Okay, and then all your shulker boxes are deployed. Wow. But they've... Okay, that was weird, right? Why you no power? I think maybe I placed them too fast? That's odd behaviour. Or is the bud power interfering? If it's bud power, why does that one work and why do these ones work? Huh. How odd. Maybe it's bud power by the ones... Okay, that is bizarre. You were getting directly powered. I reckon it's got something to do with this. So we break that. Then let's see if it does it. Well, I can't explain that. Can anyone explain that? I literally can't explain that. Maybe it's a bug. Maybe we found some sort of weird... Is there like a chunk border acting up here? Okay, now it did. Now it dispensed some of them. You know, only some of them. Or maybe just the ones I placed it at. Very strange. Yeah, then we would need to power all the pistons. And it's not the greatest idea ever, really. It's very big and clunky. So I guess the real thing here that would be super cool is if you could just quickly deploy it like a nice wall section, because this is kind of long. You have to walk back and forth, and it's not very scalable, as in like having 2 rows of it. So I can't think of a way in which you could do them like this. If you had them on the floor, let's check out if this stuff works up and down, right? So I haven't really messed around with this, but let's see what happens like this, okay? So, yep. Now that's cool. Except, okay, that is something that should get fixed right there. Because you could have like a whole bunch of hoppers on top pointing down, although then you'd need to power them as well. So this is actually probably not possible with them facing down. Very difficult with them facing up. I mean, I think the first thing that we've tried here is it, because even if you could get this somehow, like voodoo magic, to work, you need to send a signal through to the dispenser as well. So as for creating a wall of shulkers, I mean, yeah, I don't think it's possible. What was cool about this idea, and I think what I got carried away with, is you could have a double extending piston setup, or a triple, like from the side, and maybe use slime blocks and, you know, push them all out. But yeah, let's see what chat says. Anyone got a solution or an idea? So guys says leave a gap between the top and bottom shulker boxes. Well, I mean, this is the only thing we've got that works. There would have to be a gap because it's got pistons above it and hoppers below it. So if this were to be a tileable design, you know, the next setup is going to start around here. So you get a shulker box there and a shulker box there. Now if you're the player, right, this might not be the worst thing ever, but it's a lot of redstone for... Oh, there's another problem. Yeah. Is that a bug? That it dispenses them facing upwards every time? So if your pistons were actually this way, imagine they're facing the other way, right, you would look down into your shulkers. So you could walk at this level, that's good. Then the one above, the pistons would need to be there and you couldn't look into them. So it's kind of not so great. Cuplex says you must use slabs. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. You're supposed to have a gap. Now, are you supposed to use slabs so you can open it or so that it can be properly pushed back down into the hopper? I've got a feeling it's both. So your pistons would need to be 1 block higher. Tuxaban says a circle of 8 pistons facing upwards, or downwards I guess. And then you'd have a sticky, like a power the middle block. That wouldn't power the ones in the corners. Nah, that's not going to work. Okay, Cuplex says both. So both so you can open it and push it back into the hopper properly. So I don't think it's possible, and I'm going to leave it there, right? Like, if anyone makes any progress with that idea, maybe you find a way to, I don't know, get some shulker boxes closer together, maybe something like a row here and a row there. Awesome, tweet it at me. But that was kind of like an idea that was a dead end, right? And it's good that we investigated it. It's always good to do a little bit of that. Keep your mind flexing. You know, one of the things you do with redstone is you do it in your mind a little bit first, and if you're like me and you're rusty, it can be quite easy just to forget some of the limitations, because I've done that stuff before and I've seen those limitations, but they didn't come to me when I was like getting excited about the idea. Alright, so, oh, there's a bunch of, let's not get them confused with our box. Right, so we need to set up a set of armor for a fight. All of these have protection. That one we're going to stick with because it's the best one. It has everything that we need, and I don't think we're missing anything other than Depth Strider, which is not a priority for this fight. So that's like a complete thing. We're going to need an axe. We're going to need a helmet. Since we've already got a helmet that's enchanted, I mean, I could use either of those. I guess if I wanted to save diamonds, I would use the diamond helmet to create something with blast protection on. And then we need leggings. So all we need to craft at the moment is an axe and some leggings. I also need to get some sticks, I guess. Get some sticks here. Hermit Tag says, wait, he's farming now? We were farming the whole time we were doing that redstone stuff. I was being smart. I didn't log off the server. Okay, so we're going to make an axe, and then we're going to make some leggings. Then we're going to make some lapis, and we're going to check out what possible base enchantments we could get. Is there? Oh, it's above us. It's above us. Of course it is. Right, so we can get... don't want protection, I think, right? And efficiency. I mean, it's not smite is the problem. What can I use to make dud enchants? What is the cheapest? I guess it's just using more wood, isn't it? Okay, let's make some spades. I think spades are it. X, what are you up to today? Says Shaolush. We're up to many things. Many things we're up to. By the way, while I was in the redstone zone, you know, I couldn't focus on anything else and I had noises in the ear. So first of all, I thank all you peeps for the noises in the ear. Appreciate that. We also got 1,000 peeps here watching. So thank you ever so much, everyone, for tuning in. As I do, I'll periodically encourage you to hit that follow button here on Twitch. You get notified for the live streams. So thanks for coming by and checking it out. Gamer Chick says this suspenseful tune though. It is suspenseful, isn't it? Kimlock says, X, your back-to-back stream is reminding me to ask when the next HG stream day is. We'll get one organised. It's been too long. We'll get one organised. I want to make sure Grian and Mumbo are a part of it, that's for sure. Now, I wasn't going to try and get... Wait a minute, blast protection on that. Will I get it on this? I'm going to go for it. Fire protection. I think we can replace that with blast protection. Maybe I should have taken it on the helmet then, you know? So those two are protection. We're trying to get blast protection on these two. So I guess we want to try and get unbreaking. This might actually be like a bad idea, what I'm doing right now. It's not so good. We'll get there in the end. And then the axe is the other one I should have checked. Let's do another dud enchantment. That's what I should really be doing. I should be doing duds until I see what I want. I haven't done this in a while. You know, I'm rusty. I'm rusty at the old enchanting. No one knew you could be rusty at enchanting, but I proved that you can be. And you know what? Sod it. I'm just going to take that. And we got unbreaking, so that's great. That means I have to use 2 of my smite books, which is kind of alright. So we got one with just smite. Do we have another that's only got smite? If not, fortune isn't good for an axe, really. Now, blast protection isn't good for an axe, nor is power. Knockback? Do I want knockback on this thing? Probably not. Anyway, while I figure this stuff out, we got noises in the ear from Kent Parass, who's resubscribed for 8 months. Thank you so much, Kent. We also got Joke to Win, resubscribing for 13 months in a row. Josione54 is here, subscribing for 7 months. Thank you ever so much. I appreciate that support. I hope you are enjoying the stream that we're doing here today. We might need an unbreaking, so I'll grab that. We're going to need our blast protection. Might need another unbreaking. Sweeping edge doesn't work on an axe. It's for a sword, so we don't need that. Don't need protection. And Riptide. We'll do that one. Another unbreaking if I need it. Yeah, we don't need that. I think we've pretty much got all that we need. Right, and there are anvils here. There are anvils here. Foxy Face Rocks is here, resubscribing for 22 months in a row, saying hello. How have you been? It's been a while. I've been fantastic. Thanks for asking. I hope you're enjoying the stream today. It's been a good one so far, I think. We did a little bit of redstone. Turned out I was doing some stuff that didn't really lead anywhere, but that's fine. You know, that's absolutely fine. What other enchantments could this thing have? I mean, this one right here is like pretty much it. Yeah, it's just enchantments for axing, and this is just for fighting. So I'm happy with what we've got right there. That's good. Maybe efficiency 5 lets you swing faster. Oh, that's a myth that needs busting. When he says, I always put fortune on my axes, great for harvesting potatoes, carrots, and nether wart. Yeah, except this thing's only going to be for killing the wither. But if I were doing those things, that would be a great idea for it. We got Michael Stickle here, resubscribing for 27 months in a row, saying 27 months, what's that? Free Twitch babies? Anyway, good evening, X. Just went to the gym for the first time. Feels good. Awesome, buddy. Awesome. You made a great decision there. I hope you enjoy the gym. I hope you have a good time. And, you know, keep going there and see if it's something you like. I certainly enjoy it, and I'm out of action at the moment. However, now I have leg days again, and I did a leg day today. And last time I did leg day, I went a bit gung-ho, and it made my legs sore for 3 days. But that's what it's like when you're getting used to it. If you do it routinely, you, like, recover so much quicker. Zinthan is here, resubscribed for 2 months, and Poke Waffles 42 has subscribed with Amazon Prime. Thank you to the both of you. I appreciate that, and I hope you have a good time watching the stream. Wither Axe, I'm going to call this one Wither Axe. We're going to name stuff Wither, right? So we know. So we're not changing that one, so we'll call it Wither Boots. Actually, I'm going to call them Wither Slippers. I got my Wither Slippers on. Okay, awesome. When will you be fighting the 100 Withers, says Rumour? As soon as we can, I hope. I'm assuming Smite 5 does more against zombies than Sharpness 5, says Gavin. It does, but it also does more against a Wither as well, so that's a good thing. Okay, I don't think we need anything else on this chest plate, right? Protection 5 isn't a thing, so we'll call it Wither chest plate, I guess. I don't know, I can't think of anything clever for that. I mean, not that Slippers is clever, okay? It's not clever, clearly, but it is what it is. So we've got the unbreaking, we've got the fire protection, but we're going to replace it with the old blast protection. No! Curse thy gods of enchanting, for I have wasted thy 7 diamonds. I guess it'll go on over here. So there we go, blast protection. And we need that unbreaking action. Let's go with that one right there. I don't know if Riptide is the good one or not, but that's what we need. So we'll call this the Wither Helm, is what I'm going to call that. Starry Eyes says eye break time. It could well be, it could well be. So we've got to make some more leggings and not goof on them enchantments, you know. I mean, it's probably not worth enchanting it, just using the books. But we'll have a look, just in case. Protection 4, definitely not a good idea, you see. Okay, so over to the anvils, and we got unbreaking, and blast protection. Isn't impaling a really good one? And loyalty. So I'm gonna use those two, right? So we get our blast protection, then we get our unbreaking, and we've got to call it Wither Legs. Okay, so we have 2 blast protections with those two, 2 regular protections, and we got feather falling. And that's really all that you need. These 2 right here are technically junk, I guess. And that is my Wither Kit. My Wither Kit of Amazingness. That's what we're calling it. Right. So you get to go back in the book. I think I left my valuable... Oh! Okay, don't die. Don't die is a good philosophy in this area. Oh, jeez, no! Don't kill me. Don't kill me now. Whoa. Okay, that was slightly scary, I'll admit. Right, and then you go in here, those go in there, we grab this, and we're out of here, peeps. We're out of here. We're scramming. We got a noise in the ear. It's a donation here from Monkey Mode, who's donated saying, "You've got to give me props for my commitment over the last year. I've donated a consistent 666 ever since episode 666 every time I managed to catch a stream." Well, props for that. Thank you so much, man. Love your vids and streams. Such an inspiration and influence for me and many other people. I appreciate the nice message, man. Thank you so much for your continued support. I appreciate the demonic donation. Thank you, my man. I have noticed the numbers. Jedis Trek says, "Greetings, everyone, from Nashville, Tennessee. I hope you're having a great day / night." Isn't that from where? That's from where Joe Hills is. Joe Hills, if you didn't know, is from Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, can we make this in one go? Of course we can. It's easy. Oh, it's easy peasy. Flying through that beautiful Nether hub. X, did you just steal an ender chest? I did. Well spotted. Well, oh, jeez, I've got to go put it back. I've got to go put it back. So I will put the volume up, so we'll hear a little bit of noisiness when we pop up there, but hey, it's just an excuse to fly through the Nether hub again, isn't it? Blue Bottle 77 is here, resubscribing for 29 months in a row. Blue Bottle, thank you so much for the support. I do appreciate it. And guess what? Guess what I hope? I hope that you enjoy your day. You thought I was going to say stream. Oh no, I don't want you to enjoy this stream. I want you to enjoy your whole day. How about that? Right. Man, that Nether hub is sick, says Mad Me. But it is so sick, it needs to go to a doctor. Did you see what I did there? Okay, dorkiest joke ever. Let's stop. Oh, they're still angry. They remember the massacre of a moment ago. The XP is still on the floor. Alright, let's get back down there. Oh, well, that was clever. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. The massacre of a moment ago, says that Jared. Yeah, the massacre of a moment ago. Never forget a moment ago. Ugh. Oh, smacked into the wall. You got any objective for this stream, says Pimby2. I'm trying not to derp. I'm trying my very best. Yeah, I've got objectives. I've got a list of objectives. We are being productive today. How do you remove the bedrock, says Alex? You ask Impulse SV, okay? Because X don't know how, but Impulse does. I mean, if any of you watching ever want to know more about the Hermits, go to hermitcraft.com. You can find all of the group, all of our latest uploads. Impulse is the guy who got us onto the roof of the Nether this season. This is the... I'm going to just chuck that and these things into our valuables area. Okay, so that can go in there. Was it actually a part of that already? It might have actually been a part of that already. I thought I grabbed a different one. And then these are here ready for the Wither fight. That's fantastic. Okay, so I go back to my list because we're being productive today. That's the wrong list. We have now prepped for the wither fight. We could do a little bit of base building, but I don't think that's the most interesting of things, right? There is also, I've also got to prep a storage schematic. I don't think I've really got the things ready to do that on stream. So anyway, now's actually a really good time for us to do our world famous eye break. You see, me, the streamer, I'm not looking at my screen right now. I'm looking away. And you should do too. That's right, I'm telling you to stop watching. So don't change tab. Don't watch a different stream. Don't tune out. Please don't tune out. No, I'm messing with you. This ain't an excuse to check your email or look at your phone. It's time to look away from those bright lights. You spend all day staring at screens these days. And those doctors say, stop staring at the screens. Give your eyes a little rest. Every hour of looking at a screen, just take 5 minutes to look away. I'm not going to take 5 minutes. All the will be gone after 5 minutes of hearing this nonsense. Also, be sure to replenish your fluids regularly. It's time to drink some water, peeps. Oh, goodness me. Whew, I think that was about 400 millilitres in one go. And what was the other thing that I remind you? Open a window! Don't you know? A stuffy room leads to a brain that isn't operating at full capacity. Get more oxygen in your body. Use your cognition. Okay, we're back, peeps. We're back from the eye break. Also known as the replenish your fluids break. Also known as the open a window break. What is this nonsense? That's all it is, really, isn't it? It's just silliness. Shade says, not on Fridays. I play Magic and get destroyed by my friends. But favourite day of the week. Oh, I think I got to sneeze. X, do you use a shield in the wither fight? Says Onrust. You know what? I never use a shield. Therefore, I'm going to use a shield. Now, the shield probably isn't worth enchanting because it's so cheap. So, I will just put that in there to remind me to use a shield. There might be like a... Yeah, there is potions, actually. Night vision potions are really good for the wither fight. I think that's the only one that you properly need. You're also going to need like regeneration. Yeah, why don't we make a couple more? Oh, there's already one here, I guess. Let's knock that out. Let's put, I guess we want a log and a hopper. Let's increase our brewing capacity. Oh, and I put a bunch of nether warts. Yeah, I remember doing that. Wait, what am I on about? Okay, in you go. And then we need a log. It's the wrong type. It's always the wrong type. Also got this. Jungle. Splash potions, healing, says Lukaki. I don't think they're that great because you got to hit your own hitbox, which is actually kind of tricky. If you throw it at your feet, you'll get less of the effect. So I would recommend just using a regular potion, really. Well, there's a good reason that's there. Oh, that's only going to do like 3. I mean, it'd probably be better to do this. Oh, the cauldron don't have that hitbox thing sorted out yet. All right. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Its hitbox needs updating. Maybe they did that in the next update. Now the one over here is going to need a little bit of blaze powder. They're all... No, not like that. Jeez. They're all going to need... Wait. Okay, it works that way around. Does that remove a little bit of blaze every time you put it in? That would be a quick way to waste it all, I guess. It's golden carrots. We did this last time. I tried to make them, then I realised they were literally in my hand. Okay, so they'll glug 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 and do their thing, and we can start putting them into a shulker box for the fight. That's good. So we're doing some potion prep. Badger says such a good C418 song. It's one of my favourites. One of my favourites, I've got to say. All right. So who wants to see some epic base progress in action? That's what I want to know right now. And after we've done this as well, we'll go over and check out the architect's station, as we're going to be gathering some materials and basically extending the line over to our base. Those are the two other things I've got planned for this stream. And that is probably enough of the things that I need. Got some junk again. Where can I put the junk? Oh jeez, we need a sorting system so bad. It's ridiculous. This music is dope. What's the band or artist, says Shade. It should be written on the screen for you. It's C418. Bottom left of your screen. This is probably done now, isn't it? Yep. It's done. And I don't quite have the right amount of slots, but we'll brew up another 9, and then when we come back here again, we can do another 9 after that. Okay, so let's just confirm this. Yep, the hitbox is broken. I'm sure you used to be able to go through the gap. Could be wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if I were wrong, let's put it like that. It wouldn't surprise anyone in this chat, basically. Okay, so then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and in my hand 1, 2, 3. Okay, like that, we'll have another 9 potions. Let's go around the corner. Let's go down here. Alright, spoilers. Hashtag spoilers. Okay, check this out. Alright, I've come up with the building technique now. Oh yeah, I need to put some packed ice up there. I really wanted to do that straight away. I'm glad I remembered. Let's go grab some packed ice, peeps. Morocco says, I didn't know Prismarine was animated until a couple of days ago. I swear every time I look at it, it's showing me my least favourite shade. Yeah, that's the thing. I agree with you there. It always feels like you're seeing that lesser colour. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let's grab a couple stacks of that. And let's go put this in place. This is almost helpful coming up here. But it's kind of not. I guess I'm going to have to fly around. Nikki Died says, what's your favourite ice cream flavour? Mine's vanilla and cookie dough. Do you know what? I really enjoy ice cream with something else. Like, whenever I have ice cream, it's rarely on its own. So, I really love food. I love, you know, food. You know, I'd be happy with any ice cream flavour, but that being said, I really like ice cream when it's with, like, a hot pudding. Oh, the hot and cold dynamic. The things melting together. Oh, you're making me feel hungry. Jeez. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I was going to say something, y'all. Right. I reckon what we should do is get the blocks behind here as well, just so when you're flying around and looking about, it doesn't look kind of odd that there is, like, some inconsistency of ice. Because you can see it through the glass. Now, we also then need something like stone to go underneath it, so I might run out of stone, I think. So you go there, and then that's what we've got to do, peeps. We've got to get this stuff sorted out. Alright, so I was going to, what was it we were saying, favourite colours of ice cream. I was going to tell you about the meal I had last night, okay? I treated myself to a curry. I love curries, but like when we talk about food a lot on these streams, I am definitely like someone who struggles with struggles. No, that's probably not the right word. Like I definitely like have really strong food cravings. That's a more accurate description. I have strong food cravings, right? And I think about food a lot. And if I didn't have discipline, it would be a problem. Luckily, I'm really disciplined with it. And I can sort of compartmentalize my eating a little bit. But, you know, as much as I do eat healthy, I do indulge as well. And you got, sometimes there's just so much temptation out there. You just need that indulge every now and then. And yesterday I had a massive curry. And oh my goodness me, did it hit the spot. It really hit the spot. But already, right, not even, well, actually probably roughly around 24 hours later, my body is back to just, I could eat another one, right? And the curry I had was massive. It really filled me up. And I really enjoyed it, and I had some treats after as well. So the curry that I had, right, was I had a motor paneer, which is like a cheesy pea mix curry. I had a sag paneer, which is cheese and spinach. And I had a vegetable masala. And they were all the smaller portion sizes. And I also had an onion bhaji, okay, and had a chapati bread. So in the bowl, bottom of the bowl, chapati bread. Put an onion bhaji in there, motor paneer on one side, vegetable masala on the other, and a sag paneer on top. And does that hit the spot? Oh, I'm going to have another one. Oh, jeez, I got a problem. I loved it. It was great. Taco Ball says, how much did all that cost? I had a few other things with it as well, like I get poppadoms and mango chutney and eat those the next day. It also comes with a salad, which I eat the next day. £17, which is delivered as well, so I think that's quite reasonable. Maybe a bit on the pricey side. I don't know. The curry quality from the place I get it from, though, is so good. Like, I've been getting curries from them for years, and like, no one does it quite like them, and they always do it the same, and it always hits the spot. They've just got this really rich, creamy curry sauce, and oh, it's so good. It's so good. Stop, please. I'm on a diet. The cravings, says Enderboss. If I could give you some advice for being on a diet and like hearing people talk about food or anything like that, like you're gonna encounter it. You're gonna encounter temptation. So learn to embrace those pains and try and like treat it like, you know, you've got to be strong to do this, because you're gonna need that strength to stick with this kind of stuff, right? I mean, that's how I did it, and because I got the stream, I kind of like have a bit of fun with it and waffle on about it, but that's the basic of what I'm doing. It might sound like I'm moaning or whatever. Like, I am very much used to having to put up with cravings, right? And they come and go in spells. Sometimes you just kind of get through it, and sometimes you might go like day after day wanting to eat some ridiculous sweets or whatever it is, you know, and that's alright. But yeah, like if you're trying to diet and eat better, the pain is the gain. It's the same as trying to get in shape. Like, the reward ain't there straight away, so embrace the pain. Okay, accept that it's going to be there. It will make you stronger, and it will help you get through it, you know, because it's going to suck. It's going to suck. I think I can build this without Schematica. I just realised I built so much of it. I mean, I can at least do this a little bit. Oh yeah, the technique that helped me build this faster was by coming to these blocks. Also, I really want to give myself night vision. If this were my own server, I would just, for the sake of the stream, probably give myself the effect. Just such a waste of time to make potions. That being said, we did just make a batch, so I could grab a night vision potion if y'all would prefer that. That is the wrong type of slab. Yeah, so then it's one here, one there, and that bit's been built up. Very good. But now, can I build this one? I don't want to make any mistakes, so I think I'll swap out. Peeps want night vision. All right. The channel says I can't gain weight and it sucks. I don't hear the end of it from the doctor. If you struggle to gain weight, are you also definitely eating a lot, right? Like, because you have to eat more to gain weight, and you want to eat healthy fats if you want to put on weight, right? Don't eat junk food. Also, if you have like a strong metabolism that can kind of take junk food and get rid of it, if you eat junk food, yeah, it's going to be harder to put on weight. Right, I'm just trying to launch the other Minecraft, and my computer's just gone a bit. Okay, now it works. It just went unresponsive for some reason. Right, there we go. Let's get this other one rolling. So yeah, I would recommend eating healthy fats, stuff like avocados, and you know, avocado's a good thing to eat with something else. But hey, I'm also not like a specialist. There are people out there who are actually knowledgeable, so it might not be a good idea. The channel says it's my metabolism. Alright then, so do you eat junk food when you try and gain weight? Because that's a, like, anecdotally speaking, that's a common thing I've heard, is that people try to put on weight but they struggle, and it's because they go and eat junk food and their metabolism just burns through it, you know. The other thing is count calories. Like, you might think you eat a particular way, but when you count your calories, it gives you a clearer vision. That's what I learned recently. I thought that I was eating pretty good, and then I started counting the calories, and I realized that although I've, you know, slimmed down over time, I can get to where I'm trying to go a lot easier by counting calories, and that's because I'm actually seeing what I'm eating, right? And I'm actually getting the right kind of counts and understanding the foods better, and it helps so much with portion control, because I would just ram into a packet of peanuts every now and then, and a small bowl of peanuts is like, you know, can get up to 200 calories, which is about a tenth of what you need to eat in the day. So yeah, that was kind of like, that was quite alarming. So now when I measure my my nuts, I mix them together and I have a few different types, so I've got a much clearer picture of how many calories they are, and they're a lot more than I thought they might be. I just did this so I could have Schematica on, right? So let's get Schematica on, and let's figure out where this thing is at. Yep, see I got all the way up there earlier. So while I'm building this up, I kind of want to do like a nice section. Oh yeah, look, that's blocking sunlight right now. Now, can I do a sneaky? I'm going to do a sneaky, peeps. I'm going to do a sneaky. We got a noise in the ear from Ilove Mycelium, who's resubscribing for 16 months in a row. Ilove Mycelium, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Hope you're excited about the brown mushrooms that got added. Mushrooms, even. Thank you so much for the support. We also got Blank100 subscribing with Amazon Prime. Thank you for subscribing. Tuxaban says, is someone gonna clip X measuring his nuts? Oh dear! Oh dearie me! What did I say? What did I say? Hilarious. Clip it if you want to, you know. Do whatever you want with that. Okay. What do peeps want to talk about? Chat has gone nutty, says Average Martin. Demonetized, says Vitamin Y. Christian Minecraft server, says I Beelzebub. Yeah, what is that? Like a meme at the moment. Emergency, they're sharing some details. I do not know what my weight is in kilograms. I'm down to 11 stone and 2, whatever the 2 thing is. But my goal is to get to 11 stone and then hover around that weight, I think. That's what I'm going to feel comfortable with. And I'm looking forward to that as well, because when I get to that, like, 11 stone, I'm going to be able to try and get my calories level, because every day I'm going for, like, a deficit. And just knowing I can enjoy a little bit more food each day is nice. I really do feel like the whole food thing works in 2 directions, though. It's like, when you're doing it wrong, it's bad, and when you're doing it right, it's still bad. Okay, so 11 stone is 69. Okay, so if you weigh 43, I don't remember the. Okay, so here's what you do. You want to look up something called, I believe, I might be getting this wrong. Is it called the body mass index? You put in your weight, your height, your age, and it will give you a chart that will tell you medically where you are, if you're overweight or underweight. Use that, because if it tells you you're overweight or underweight, then you want to do something about it, because you can potentially be at risk in some way. BMI doesn't work well for anyone over 6 foot, says Badger. Well, I'm over 6 foot. Why'd you tell me that now? Why are we talking about food, says 46 Pulse. You haven't tuned in before. We always talk about food over here. You know, that's what this is for right now. It's my food therapy stream, essentially. Okay, that one is not filled in. Loving these streams, X, says Woody Woodpecker. Glad you're enjoying them. Oh, jeez, I fell down. Aren't I supposed to be a professional Minecrafter? Why do I fall down? Yeah, I was doing this earlier and I got into a real groove of just figuring this out. Right, it's not massively fast, but once you start doing it like this, it's just kind of like a groove and you get into it. So I want to build up this corner, right? And it won't take us long to do this, but I'm not going to go any further than that. That's going to be our final little bit. So we're going to come over here and do this. It's actually going to be easier just when you get to this row to go and place all the blocks and then come back. I'm also enjoying this song. It's kind of noisy, right? Hayley Bailey is here. Resubscribed for 2 months saying appreciate all your hard work, X. Thank you, Hayley Bailey. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the nice message. Hope you enjoy the stream. Bedsy is here. Resubscribed for 2 months in a row saying extra FK fishing farm is the best. I'll be eating cod for months. Brilliant. I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah, the fishing farms are classic, right? They're classic. Okay, we go up by 1. These ones are easy. Then we've got to double up to... Oh, I should have doubled up there because I can place that one off the side. But yeah, you can see this is pretty much the better way of doing it in my opinion. That is wrong. That is missing. Okay, get rid of... Ugh. We got haste. That's why we got haste. Okay. I'm trying to read chat. Body mass index is not meant for personal health assessment though. It's to get a rough idea of the group is malnourished or obese, and the basic model does not take muscle into account at all. I mean, I think the key thing is taking action, right? Like, it's a good step for helping you take action. Yeah, you've got some points there about nutrition and stuff. That's another thing, you know, you could fall in the correct range for, you know, your weight and whatnot on that index, but if you eat loads of junk food, you might not actually be getting a lot of like nutritional value from your food, and that is important too. So I mean, maybe you know, you're on the body mass index thing and it says you're a little bit overweight or underweight, but you know, at the same time, if you're eating lots of fruit and vegetables, then you're doing that bit right, and that's a very important bit. Gamer Chick says health history, genetics, the amount of times you've gotten real sick. What you eat is most important to a person's well-being. Let's not forget mental health. The human body is nothing more than a massive machine manned by billions of microorganisms. Feed those organisms right, and they do the rest. Gamer Chick, that was fantastic. I liked that. You reminded me of like the microbiome stuff, right? Like people who are understanding all this microbiome in the bacteria that lives in your gut. They eat specific foods and stuff that help your microbiome, and that is something that I've been like wanting to get into. All of these like weird teas that are made from fungus and stuff. Like, it sounds gross, but I'm doing it all wrong. I'm interested in it. Like, I wanna get my hands on one of those teas and give it a try. You know, it might be awful, it might be disgusting, but I don't know unless I try it. So yeah, that's some of you are like, what? And then some of you are like, I know what you're talking about. it's a thing. Gamer Chick says it's extremely fascinating, Masuma. I find it massively fascinating because I know in what way you're describing it. Like, as humans, it's so easy, and this is part of the brain, right? This is part of how your brain works. It kind of like creates concepts for you to understand things, right? Like, you look at your arm and you're like, that's my arm, there's my hand, there's the fingers, whatever. But like, then think about, okay, there's skin on it, there's hairs on the skin, parts of the skin look different, what's underneath the skin, muscles, what's making those work, there's blood flowing through it. Like, the magic of science and how over time we've accumulated this knowledge is brilliant to explain things to us, but the deeper you go, it keeps having these concepts and these systems, right? These things that are existing. When you go into your gut, the thing that digests foods, there's a world of organisms there that like live and exist in your gut. You know, like their universe, when we look out to the stars, is like in your gut. That's their environment. That's where they exist. And different balances of those organisms living in your gut do different things for you. And so the thing that I always think about is how it extends beyond us, right? Imagine like there's this effect that the astronauts have talked about where you go up and you look down at the world. So if we can look into ourselves and understand, oh yeah, like although I am me and I think of me as, you know, this is who I am, and then sometimes I think of it like, ow, my arm is hurt, you know, something fell on it, like, and it goes deeper and deeper and it gets smaller and smaller. It also extends the other way, right? Like when you zoom out and the Earth becomes a smaller thing, then all of a sudden, like all of our actions, our collective actions, the things we do together on this planet, they have bigger accumulative effects for what the state of the planet is. If you think of the planet as if it were like a thing, like you think of yourself, then all of a sudden all the actions we take and all the things that we do together on this planet have a bigger effect. Am I making sense? Am I making any sense? It's something I think about a lot, just how things work like that. It's how my mind ticks over. Gamer Chick says, always get goosebumps when I learn about space, right down to the microorganisms. Truly amazing. I love learning about stuff. Just everything is fascinating, basically. My mind is melting, says Shade. There it is. The old mind melting. The Pale Blue Dot by Carl Sagan. More should read it. A beautiful book that puts a lot into perspective. That sounds like something I would like to read. Yeah, I like Carl Sagan. Did I just break some... Oh, what did I just break down here? Things that should not be broken. So I think now I need to go through here to get up there, yeah. We got noises in the ear from Emergency99, who is doing cheers throwing bits, saying thanks for the stream of words. I hope you're enjoying the stream of words, Emergency. Thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Diana Black is here, subscriber of Amazon Prime. Diana Black, thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it. Modorank says, X, are you familiar with the concept of a multiverse? If you keep zooming out, you will find the concept. It's one more layer to the mind fry. Oh, is that what people... Well, here's the thing, actually. Like, I've heard multiverse talked about in so many ways that to me it sounds like every person who talks about a multiverse might mean something different, one to the next. The thing you just described is what I once heard as infinite inwards, infinite outwards, and I thought it was fascinating, right? And I'm not someone who's like, I believe in this, you know, I just, let's talk about it, let's see what that is, hear about the theory. So, when you zoom all the way into the atom, you know, like you do with your eyes, you know, you just zoom in, see the atom, oh, there it is. Now, you know what I'm talking about though, right? The atom has different electrons and neurons or whatever, like, rotating, orbiting, that's the word, orbiting around the main bit at the middle. And that's kind of like planets orbiting the sun. And so there are some theories out there that, like, when you zoom out, you know, maybe a solar system is a particle of another layer of reality. And the other thing is that you seem to be able to keep zooming inwards. Like, they thought that the atom was the smallest thing. And then they learned that the atom was composed of quarks, and that quarks had particular behaviors and spins and all this crazy science stuff, right? Now, at some point, they might even figure out, I don't know if they have yet, I've not heard of it, but they might even figure out that, hey, we can zoom in on these quarks. Quarks are made of these things. Like, how deep does it go? How far can you keep zooming in? There's this beautiful mathematic dilemma, or I don't know what you call it, like a little conundrum type thing. This idea of how does it work? There's a race between a tortoise and a hare, and it's got something to do with like halving. Like, imagine you've got the number 0 and you've got the number 1, and you're trying to get from 0 to 1. This is a better way of explaining it. Forget the race. So you can go halfway there every single time, okay? So you then you're 0.5. Then you're 0.75. And then I'm not good enough to do the next one. But every time you can go half of the distance closer to the thing, right? Theoretically, in your mind you can do this. And then you can sometimes do it practically as well. you can go half a step closer every single time, and that number gets sort of bigger and the fraction gets more and more closer. But conceptually, you can always just go half of the distance forward forever, for infinity. When do you ever actually reach 1? Like, and I guess if you were to think about that in terms of reality, what you'd be asking is, what is the resolution of reality? You're looking at this on a screen. The screen is made of pixels. Those pixels have a resolution, an amount. So what is the resolution of reality? Do you hear what I am saying? I'm asking the question. I want an answer right now, peeps. What is the resolution of reality? Someone better tell me, or I'm gonna get angry. Okay, I'm letting the energy out. Badger says, this is soothing, but my brain is too tired for this day. My brain is very rarely not in the mood for this stuff. About once a decade, someone's talking about this stuff, and I'm like, not now. I only ever recall doing that once in my life, I think. And that was a pretty long day, so it takes a lot to wear me out. 1080p, says Warner. We found the resolution of life. It's not 4K, it's 1080p. Let's see what chat has to say. Me too, Asuma. I think about this thing all the time, says Grace. Fascinating. Science inspires me. Inspires me the most, especially the scale of things. Yeah, science and technology, space, the whole shabazz. It's wonderful. Yeah, I'm deeply fascinated by it too. And you know what? I like? I don't need answers. Okay, I'm happy with the mystery, and that's one of the things about science, is that it embraces the fact that it doesn't know things as well. And so for me, like, if I don't have any kind of like religion or belief that would ever trump the ignorance or the lack of knowing. To me, you got to embrace that. You got to accept that you're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to know the mysteries, right? The mystery is what makes it all fascinating to me. It makes it interesting. I wouldn't want to think or know that I know, like, I have some innate belief and I understand what's really going on, or if there's some like hidden meaning. You know, that doesn't do anything for me, because I don't think you can prove anything like that. Mickey Snipes says, X, have you ever thought about the concept of time? In space, time doesn't exist. It never existed. The universe is possibly was always just there. No start, no end. The way I've heard time discussed a lot is that time interacts with space. So time does exist in our universe because it interacts with the laws of physics, right? So it is there, but I think the real idea is that time may not be linear from other perspectives. Or could you even call it a perspective if it were without consciousness? You know, because we have to be conscious to observe in a way. But no, time does exist. It's time and space are linked together. Like learning about black holes and whatnot. Like I will absolutely murder this, but like the event horizon is the merging of space and time. These ideas where the closer to a black hole you would get, the gravity is so strong it has an effect on time, and you could, I think if I'm getting this right, you can turn around and see yourself. Like if you travelled faster than light, you would turn around and you would see the light of you travelling behind you. Yeah, you know. Am I in a science class, says Dr. Babsy. You're in an X stream, okay? This is just one of the things I like to waffle about. Alright? This is what occupies my brain throughout the day. Okay? Oh look, I've left our wither bow behind. And I never renamed it. Hashtag shame. Shame, you never renamed it, you horrible person. Okay, I just don't know what planet I'm on right now, I'm just waffling. Today I learned X's brain is in 4D. It's in 4 dimensions. Well, it is time. There could be more dimensions beyond that. Mickey's Gun says, gotta listen to Joe Rogan's podcast with Brian Cox. He talks about space-time a little bit. I'll look up who Brian Cox is and then maybe I'll check that out, because I have heard a lot of the heavy sciencey stuff lately, like listening to Hawkins' book even, on what was it called? A Brief History of Time? listen to that. And that goes, oh, that'll blow your mind, some of the stuff in there. But a lot of it is actually quite listenable when you know these concepts. Like, listening to these sciencey books and stuff, one of the things that's really helped get into that is like watching all these little video essays on YouTube that kind of like put stuff into a far more digestible format. It kind of gives you like a stepping stone to the heavier stuff, where it gets real deep and confusing. And a lot of the time you're just listening, nodding like, yes, Mr. Hawking, yes. I'll pretend I understand. 2014 Nintendo is here. Subscribe with Amazon Prime. 2014 Nintendo. Thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the stream. Let's go up a block. Let's go up by one. And then over here. Brian Cox is a UK physicist. He's responsible for the LHC at CREN. I think I know what CERN is, right? I'll let you tell me what CERN is, because I'm sure I knew what the initials of that was, but it's just not coming to me. It just won't come to me right now. This is great. Look at this. We're doing some amazing progress. Soon we'll go over and do some HRN stuff, right? Like, this is great, and we're getting near the... Oh, we're sort of getting halfway there. We're sort of getting halfway there, peeps. I could actually just call it that if you want to see some HRN. We're deep in the conversation, but who wants to see some HRN? Let's see hands up in chat. If we get a wall of hands up, I'll cap this with some slabs and we can finish it tomorrow actually. Because I thought we were a little bit higher, to be fair. It does take some time to build, but if we can waffle, the time will fly by. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just these slabs, and then that makes it spawn proof, and then we can leave it. We can leave it alone. Quite a few hands up. X, do you believe the moon landing was done by NASA or by Disney? Says not a number. Brilliant. Yeah, I know the link. I know the link between NASA and Disney. Oh, goodness me. There's a whole other conversation. I've said it before. You can go look it up if you don't believe this. Okay? And when I talk about these facts, the facts that I'm about to tell you, they come up in conspiracy theories and stuff. Like, the way I deal with it is like, I'm not trying to jump to some end conclusion, but there are things that are interesting happening in the world. After World War II, Nazi scientists were brought over to America. You know, they had a lot of brain power. I don't know how you want to describe that other countries were interested in for their own pursuits and needs. And the guy who was possibly not a Nazi, but he was the guy who was the lead rocket engineer for the Nazis. He came over to NASA, and he is basically the genius behind, and you know, I say genius in terms of to what he could do with rockets and getting us to the moon. He's the guy behind the moon, and he was also friends with Walt Disney. And this guy, as a Nazi, was in the Nazi party, and he did not really care about what his science was doing, his rockets that he loved. He wanted to go to the moon. It's what he wanted to do with the Nazis. Warner Braun says, Badger, if anyone wants to look this up, you know, Wikipedia will have the information. It's not a conspiracy. This guy, unfortunately, his morality and his ethics were pretty loose. He worked with the Nazis because he did not care if the weapons he was making for them would kill people. He wanted to make his rockets and go to the moon. So, Lost Freight says foil hats work. I'm telling you, okay, like, I'm a rational person. I've done the research, I've looked up what's going on. I'm not trying to then tell you that NASA was run by the Nazis or anything like that. I'm like deliberately not trying to conflate or extract anything from this. Just looking at the facts. This guy did come to America. He did help NASA put people on the moon after he did horrible things for the Nazis, create disgusting weapons that kill people for them, because he did not care. He said, like, there's interviews with him or whatever, like, he didn't really care. He just wanted to work on his rockets, and he didn't care what the Nazis did with them. Anyway, he was also known to be friends with Walt Disney when he came over there. Now, I'm not going to start, like, adding in some extra linkage and going, oh, moon landing, oh, friends with Disney, because I can't do that. There's nothing factual there, right? That's where the facts end on that matter. Taco Bell says, Jesus, this guy is a moon denier. And I haven't even denied it. Like, I look out of my window and I see the moon in the sky, and that's good enough for me. I'm not denying that the moon isn't there. Jeez, again, I haven't said we didn't land on the moon. That's not something that I've said. I don't really think that we didn't and it was faked, but I am totally open to listening to the discussion and the arguments around it, because there's always interesting little things. Like, someone points out that on some of the images, I used to have a poster of this actual image, and I looked at the poster and saw it as well, but there is part of the picture where the crosshairs goes behind what you see in the image. Now the crosshairs are drawn onto the lens of the camera that was on the moon taking pictures of the moon lander, and when you look at the image, the crosshairs go behind it. Now, don't then take that and put it to some other picture like that's proof. That's not what you do. You research, you learn, you find out. Turns out that the way that you make images at that time, it's probably different digitally, means that ink can bleed. And the ink bled over where the crosshair should have been. The white ink bled over the crosshair, and that is why part of the crosshair appears behind, right? Now that's like an explanation given to something that someone might come along and tell me, oh, actually no, I'm a professional photographist. No, it's not true, but it seems to be that professional photographers would say, no, that is true. You can have bleeding ink, and it could have easily happened in space when they took the image, right? So, like, I'm not interested in trying to take all these little things that people throw at you when they talk about it and then go, oh, this means it's fake or not. I'm just interested in, like, whatever thing's brought up is getting to the bottom and getting to the truth of it, okay? You know, you do your research, you look in multiple places, and if you ain't got time to do research and you don't look in multiple places, put that out there in the open as well. Like, I should say, hey, I went this far with it, and then I didn't go any further looking into it. So, you know, I'm not trying to bring out the end result of all of this. I'm just interested in the discussion around it. Okay? Neon Joe says, could be bleeding ink, might also be blooming. Blooming, I don't know what that is, but yeah, could... That's probably just another phenomena of taking an image. Emergency says the moon is only a projection onto the inside of a hollow flat earth by the reptilian alien leaders. Sheesh. Yeah, you see, that's... Whenever you listen to those kind of theories, there's just too many straws being grabbed up and too many loose links. As you heard a moment ago, I'm deeply fascinated by science and reality as we perceive it or can understand it. And so when it comes to things like moon landings and stuff, I'm not interested in the whole confabulation into like some bigger, broader implementation of fakery. I'm just interested in what different people say about it and like what I can learn about it. Anyway. Badger says wraps head in foil, forgets air holes. Jeez. Jeez. Here's what I want to do. I want to make a particular material that I don't really have a lot of. In fact, we need to go gather sand before I can do HRN stuff, unfortunately. What I'll do is I'll fly over to the HRN. Oh my goodness me, I get through these rockets quickly. So y'all can have a look at what we're going to do. I'll explain the plans, and then we'll go grab some sand. And this is not the way anymore, is it? I do have a shovel, and we'll go through the Nether to get to the sand place. I think that's how that works. New to podcast, need someone good to listen to. Anyone? Says Stardust. I'd highly recommend Sam Harris. And I couldn't point you to a specific one, but I just, you know, give a couple a try, see if you like the topics they start talking about. He brings on really informed people and they have very clear discussions, which is good. Frank and Honest says, is this LPMT? Now this is Hermitcraft right here. We on the Hermitcraft server. X, I appreciate your curiosity. As you're looking over these interesting things, it's a good idea to keep confirmation bias in mind, says Songbird. Oh, absolutely, yeah, confirmation bias. I'm aware of stuff like that. Yeah, I'm totally aware of these concepts and try and pick them out when they're happening in my own mind, you know. So this is the material that we need, is, yeah, quartz and white concrete. So I was going to do a little bit of building, but I kind of realised we don't have this material yet. and it's a quite simple setup if we look at this. Grian's gone for like clean and effective, and I think we could extend this line in that direction so eventually it leads to our base. That would be quite simple to do. I guess we want to grab a portal. Mumbo's is probably closer. And head on out to where we can collect some sand and stuff. So anyway, like I'm really fascinated in the conspiracy theory stuff, but like when you listen to anyone talking about or hear it, you really got to like pick apart all of the linking together and just focus on, you know, individual like things that are easier to get into. Because when you start like thinking, oh wait a minute, like this is what's really going on, then you get lazy and you get sloppy and you start to take information that's halfway there, or just something that someone said, or people like to do this thing where they said, oh, they say this, they say that, and that's kind of tricky. Like, who's the they? Because everyone's heard that, right? Everyone's heard someone talking about something say, oh, they say you should eat an apple a day. Now they're saying eat 5. You know, that's a classic Cole Pilkington for you. Like, who is this they then? Let's talk with a little bit more factuality, or at least acknowledge that we don't remember where we heard something. You know, like, because you can just throw stuff around so easily and say little things to make it back up whatever it is you're thinking of. And so when it comes to this like theory stuff, it's yeah, to me it's just like let's get into the things one at a time and understand it, because there's a lot of weird stuff that's happened in history, right? There's a lot more evil, unfortunately, out there in the world than you might think, and there's a lot of strange stuff that's happened in history, and a lot of those things can kind of get confabulated together. I'm making up words now. One of them that I heard about is like rich people vampiric kind of sucking the blood of young people, and it gets like drawn up into this conspiracy of like rich evil people, you know, harvesting babies and all this sort of stuff. But behind it, if you're willing to get into the reality of stuff, there are some factual things happening, and the whole aggrandizing it into a conspiracy and talking about, I don't know, like occultist old people planning together to get young people together, like that's where the nonsense comes out of the actuality. And the actuality for me is so much more interesting. So blood fusions are actually a thing that happen, like not a weird kind of culty thing, but like out in America there are basically companies, shops you can go to and shop for blood, and there are rich old people who want to live forever, like probably a lot of people want to live for longer, having these blood fusions from young people, because there is actually some studied science that kind of suggests that it may help increase your longevity or your health in your body. These studies and sciences aren't at the meta level yet, and the meta is where you run multiple studies across one another to correlate results from multiple sources, right? It's kind of saying like these studies aren't isolated. The patterns that they're trying to say are happening happen across multiple studies. Meta-analysis is a strong indicator for some factuality there, right? So anyway, like this is a phenomenon that happens, like, but it's not conspiratorial. It's not like some evil, I don't know, you know how these conspiracies always seem to blow it up into something ridiculous. It's actually like quite boring. It's like, hey, some research is done about, you know, taking the blood of young people and transfusing it with older people, and then, you know, there's answers, there's results of what happened, and yeah, you know, like the science is more interesting to me. The actual science is like more fascinating. Like I want to know, does that actually have effect? I don't want it to be part of some like weird conspiracy. Right, I'm looking at what chat's saying now. Well, but scientific studies can be deeply flawed. Just talk about the first study which vaccines cause autism. It had a tremendous impact and was false. Studies need to be verified by new studies, and they can be trusted, says Motorang. You're absolutely right, and that's why, like, you know, talk about these things, be open to, like, learning that actually what we once thought was right is now wrong. This is why I don't like all the aggrandizing and packaging things into some bigger meaning when we're talking about this stuff. Just stick to, like, what is known. These people are doing this. There are, like, I didn't say these studies are, like, you know, real. I'm saying, like, these studies exist. The evidence is strong. Meta-analysis has been done. Anyway, by the way, I'm also sort of trying to remember if that's true or not, right? Like, again, but being open about that is important. Like, you know, I hope I'm expressing that properly. Like, anyway, from what I remember, it has, you know, been meta-analysis, which is, again, is usually a good sign. Maybe it could be wrong. So, like, this whole vaccine thing and autism, like, if there are meta-analyses of this coming to light, that can be a meta-analysis of a lot of bad studies, or if there's a mix of bad and good, maybe it starts to show something truthful. But I haven't even really, like, gotten into that whole thing at all, because I grew up in an age where, like, vaccination, like, put it this way, like, I'm older, and therefore people in my family know what things were like before vaccination to some extent. I'm not sure at what demographic or age group would understand better. Like, where is the threshold of where vaccination changed their lives and the people around them? But certainly, like, my parents and their parents, like, it's still being handed down, or they experienced it, that, like, these vaccinations made a huge difference. So they're not skeptical about it because they have a closer to or first-hand experience, right? Does that make sense? And so, you know, that's been passed on to me. And then when I've heard about this whole anti-vaccination movement, kind of did some research looking into it, and just, I saw the wrong signs in the anti-vaccination thing. I see the conspiratorial stuff. I see the grasping at straws, the linking things together, the lack of, like, deep science and stuff that really makes sense, right? You know, because you got to leap from, oh, this one little anecdotal thing here, and then it's like conspiracy. You know, it's, vaccines are used to control us. They give us autism. It's like, there ain't science there. It's too anecdotal. It's, yeah, just ugh. Anyway, we've had noises in the ear, and I've just been waffling like a madman over here. SAS9602 is here with a donation saying, a bit late, but time is a human concept. Very true. The event horizon of a black hole is the point where light can no longer escape the black hole. Sorry, this is a bit late. No problem at all, man. You're absolutely right. That sounds like something I've heard quite a few times said. The event horizon, yeah, because I mentioned that. It's one of those words floating around in your mind when you talk about this stuff. If you're unstudied but just curious and got a platform to talk to people, I like to try and point out the bits that I'm not sure if I'm getting right or not whenever I can. Thank you so much for the donation, Sass. We also got Marin Mariled resubscribing for 5 months, saying, here for 5 months. By the way, call me Marin. It's easier for you English people. Marin Mareld, I will probably forget that next time I read it. I have so many noises in the ear, I can't remember them all, but I will try, Marin. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. I also got Gamer Chick here, resubscribing for 20 months, saying, as far as time is concerned, it's time well spent. Wink. Thank you for an amazing journey in this roller coaster flying through the universe. Yeah, we're traveling at a remarkable speed right now. Anyway, do we have any people that believe in chat that vaccinations are dangerous? I mean, I'm sure maybe on some level there are some known risks, but they must be pretty slight and non-consequential considering how widely adopted they are. Look, here's what I would encourage anyone who's a skeptic. Skepticism is good, okay? Skepticism is a good thing to have, but in being skeptical about it, don't let that lead you to pushing you in the other direction, right? Be skeptical in both directions, and if you're listening to a lot of anti-vaccination material, balance it out with vaccination material as well. And use your head, use your thinking, learn about the ignorances that we have as people. I might share another video on my website soon. I want to watch it a couple more times, but it's about logical fallacies, about like argumentative things that people use. And there was a really great example in it that I like. So one of like a logical fallacy, and everyone here is going to know this. They're going to have known it, and once you can describe it as a logical fallacy, I think it's quite useful. But let's say I'm overweight, and I'm talking to you, and you're overweight, and I go, you should exercise more, and you should eat healthier food. Okay? You might go, but you don't do that, and that's a logical fallacy because it's an emotional response more than anything. The fact that I don't eat healthy and I'm overweight, which is in our hypothetical situation, doesn't actually have any bearing on anyone else, right? It has no bearing on anyone else. If you tell it to them, like, it doesn't mean it's not factual, right? Like, it's not a logical... Sorry, it's a logical fallacy to think so. And it's emotional reasoning that we often gravitate towards because we can be defensive of these things. Anyway, little things like that. This video had 31 of them, I think, logical fallacies. I kind of want to watch it a few more times before I put it on the knowledge part on my website, but I thought it was really great, and they're probably worth knowing about more so you can kind of think about when you use them or when other people use them, and it can help you get to like the truth of something a little bit better. Gamer Chick says, if you are overweight, it's your own doing. Yeah, but I would also be a little bit more like, it is your own doing, but there are great influences at work in the food industry to make food addictive, and part of making it addictive means people eat more, and there's bad stuff in it, and it's easy to become overweight. Like, you know, it's a tough one. But essentially, yeah, for a large part, you know, 90%, maybe there's some genetics involved. Genetics do influence who can put on weight and lose it, and your metabolism, etc. Like, there are other factors and influences, but it's a huge one. Is that your actions are leading to the state of your body, you know? If you're overweight and it's like you ran every day and you stopped eating junk food and ate vegetables for a year, like, what are you going to look like at the end of that year? There's a very high chance that that weight is going to disappear, you know, if done right. I'm not saying only eat vegetables and only run, like, you know, you've got to have a balance, you've got to rest, you've got to get more things in your diet than just vegetables, right? Oh, the weight is relative. A healthy weight for one person is not necessarily the same for another one, says Quite Pleased. Yeah, there's some truth to that, but I think the bracket of that is probably smaller than, you know, like the term obese. I don't think anyone who's obese is healthily obese, right? So overweight, you know, within that range, yeah, there's probably variances for different people, right? Like one of the things people don't think about, I don't think, is when you see bodybuilders who are, you know, bronzed up on a stage, flexing extraordinary muscles. Those people are actually incredibly unhealthy. Like, it's really quite dangerous to get that muscular and trim that much body fat off of your body. One of the things I've noticed where I've lost weight over time and lost a lot of fat is you get cold really easy. And I like to wear shorts and shirts, like vests. Like I'm a light clothes person, right? I get cold a lot. I should wrap up more, but yeah, I don't know where we're going with this. Well, how did we get back to this? We've gone in a circle. What are we talking about? Logical fallacies, vaccines. I asked for people to put their vaccine opinions in chat, and I kept looking over and seeing vaccine messages, and then I kept waffling, and then they're all gone now. So I'm sorry. I think what I need is like some better chat tools. I'd love it if there was a way for me to freeze chat, or just to like bookmark a message. Oh, I wish Slobs would invest in that. A lot of the streaming companies and YouTube, they just seem to be so monetize heavy at the moment. They're always trying to make ways to get more money out of the audience to the creator and then take a cut. And like, I'd love it if they focus more on the experience, if they develop tools to make the experience of streaming quicker, like better. Like, imagine that. Imagine me being able to look at my chat and just that message, right, and then hold on to that one, and I can read it in a minute. Like, that's what I would love to do. That would make these discussions we have so much more productive. Oh wait, no, I got my backpack. I can sleep. Alright, so we got a noise in the ear. We've had a few of them because I've been waffling. We got Vedinari the Patrican resubscribing for 11 months, saying when it comes to medical science, it is just maturing as a real science, but unfortunately, p-hacked data sells like a glass of red wine is healthy. I've heard that one for a long time. I think there's just some studies that suggest that alcohol in its effect on the body can actually be in very small doses, infrequently, once a month or whatever, can probably do you some good by relaxing you a little bit. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it. That's just kind of how I remember it, right? That's like the rough idea I've got in my mind from where I've heard that being discussed before, like when people discuss it. But I don't drink alcohol at all. Like to me, alcohol is like an alien substance, and the reason that you get drunk or you get high, depending on what it is like you're doing, is because your body is having an allergic reaction to it. Like alcohol is literally poison for your body, and it's just a thing in my mind that I want to have fun experiences or have a good time through health, through doing positive things, and not through putting something into my body that affects how my body works and operates to have a good time, right? Because that can lead potentially to worse things, poor health, poor mental health, whatever. Like, you know, it's literally poison. That's what alcohol is. You know, you can die from drinking too much of it. Literally in one sitting. It's incredible, and I don't want to put it in my body. And I don't know if its chemical hooks are addictive. I don't know actually if alcohol's chemical hooks are addictive, but if you've got an addictive personality, you know, and you've got troubles in your life, alcohol takes your mind off of it for a while. You get inebriated, you have a bit of fun, like that can develop bad habits easily. Quake Ooze says, my cousin is medically retarded because she had a bad reaction to a vaccine. All of her younger siblings and cousins are not vaccinated because of that, but it annoys me that people argue the extremes of vaccines are bad versus vaccines are good because it's a balance and extremely small probabilities. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound like an unreasonable thing to say, right? Like that someone's had a bad reaction to this thing. But yeah, then it's about, okay, so what is that measurably? Like, what is that among the population? Is that everyone? The other thing there, by the way, with your sentiment, and I'm sorry to hear that, by the way, it's really unfortunate, is that that's going to hit people emotionally. And that's one of the other, you know, like if we could give any form of credit or at least try and be more human about talking about this stuff, is that a lot of anti-vaxxers are mothers and they've got their children's best intentions at heart. And unfortunately, like sometimes things like fear can win over. Like no one wants that to happen to their child. That would be horrible. And that can be a huge motivator, and that can warp statistics or like make things... People have like an emotional reaction to stuff, right? Like, I don't want to get into talking about immigration and things like that, but it seems from the research and stuff that I've done into immigration, violence and fear, or whatever factors you want to put it into, is that the truth of the matter is that people coming into a country and immigrating do bring with them problems, the same sort of problems that will already exist in that country, because we're all human, we're all the same. But what it does is it appeals to people's fear. Like terrorism appeals to people's fear, and it gets you to action and react in a way that is obscured from reality because we don't think statistically. You could spend a lot of time, you know, putting your energy into like this anti-vaccine thing, where you could actually, if we could calculate it, and sometimes we can, be given a statistical analysis of what you're doing. You could be putting an immense amount of time and energy into something that has an incredibly small chance of affecting you. And that's what the whole immigration thing and being fearful of immigrants looks like to me. It is how it looks, you know, people from another country coming in, taking benefits and doing horrible things, it gets at your fear factor. Now, to say that that's not true is sort of false. There's always going to be someone that does something horrible, but it's like, what is it in terms of percentage? What is it in terms of actuality? And so often do these things turn out to be incredibly small. It might be less than like 1.001% of immigrants that might do something horrible. Sometimes it turns out there might be more people committing crimes in your town than the people coming into it, but it's the facts, the way people think about things, of this fear of immigrants that then, like, you know, makes it seem more important. And again, like, with going back to the anti-vaccination thing, the point is that people who are genuinely affected by vaccinations, the percentage might be so astronomically small that if you looked at it and thought, how much suffering does this stuff prevent? Like, if you put them on a scale, the scale might just drop, bang, you know, like, it prevents so much suffering for such a tiny percent on the other side. And it is always awful to have to weigh up things and be mathematical about people's suffering, because there will be people who suffer on that smallest of scales. But when we choose to make big decisions in society, you've got to look at it like that. It's practical. It's what you have to do. Jeez, I am waffling today, right? I don't think I'm even doing a good job of picking up sand here. I'm just having a waffle. Waffle sandwich. Goodness me, did I just go off on one? Dragonborn Orc is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Dragonborn Orc, thank you for your Prime subscription. We got the last card axe here, a donation saying, hey Asuma, I've turned into HC on and off since Season 3. I never knew you did live streams as well. Wanted to extend a thank you for all you do to the community. Dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the nice message. Glad you've been watching for a few years, and I've been streaming for years. I think I might have gotten good. If you just heard me talk to myself for the last half hour, I might have gotten alright at doing the streaming thing. I think I started doing it infrequently around Season 3, because we live streamed the beginning of Season 3, and then it became like a regular thing, and then slowly it's kind of developed into a real passion. Gamer Chick says, I feel like you want to talk about how vaccines are bad and talk about how bad cars are to our environment, about how water is being slowly contaminated. Everything on this planet is slowly eating away at our genetic makeup. It's scary. Yeah, I'm totally, utterly, as I've said many times, I'm so in the pessimistic camp when it comes to our activity here on the planet, and I talk to people who are not in that camp, and the discussion's always fascinating and interesting, but like deep down in my gut I really do feel like we are just wrecking this planet and like our chances of our own survival. And there are certainly like signs and indications of good things happening. There's also, you know, every day we chop down more trees, we pollute, we dump things into the ocean. We are like an astronomic, we are a big force on this planet, and we are changing its makeup, its composure, and who knows how bad it could be. It seems like it could be terrible. I don't think people realise that chickenpox can be more dangerous than measles. My son has been vaccinated in the UK, which you have to pay for. My family tend to have a bad reaction to chickenpox. My brother is still not immune, says Gel Girl. I don't know too much about chickenpox. I know that I never had it, and I know that it's bad to not have had it as an adult. So, you know, I have to be pretty vigilant, like if you're around children. I know someone who died from chickenpox as well. Goodness me. Yeah. And a lot of those vaccinations, they take diseases and things out of society that, you know, like I said it earlier, like previous generations know about it, not so much us, which is why there's a stronger movement for it now. There's lots of reports in America of like having measles outbreaks, and like this stuff was supposed to be taken care of by vaccinations, and now we're seeing the horrors of it like re-emerge because of this, you know, horrible ability to spread misinformation. Rocky Fort says, do you support Elon Musk and Tesla? I really do feel like no disrespect or offense to them, but like I really do feel like anything that's in the direction of us doing more activity is the wrong direction. I believe so much more in scaling down and reducing as opposed to expanding. You know, the allure of electric driven cars is still us using the Earth's resources and polluting. You know, on a lesser scale, yes, but the problem is we keep scaling up everything we do. Elon Musk wants to dig massive tunnels for traffic to drive through, and that is just terrible because it just means more disruption of ecosystems, more manufacturing, creating, taking resources away from the planet, and more cars on the road. That's all that's ever happened with trying to fix the traffic problem, is it doesn't seem to factor in that we continuously make more cars, make them more available, put them in the hands of more people. We don't invest in public transport and shared transport systems and technologies. We invest in this individualism that is just horribly, like, ineffective, like, horribly wasteful. You know, like, I've got an eye for it that I can't turn off. Wherever we go in the car together, I just look at all these parked cars everywhere, and it's just ridiculous. It's just utterly ridiculous how wasteful it is. And all these ideas of individual freedom, and I can drive where I want, and, you know, hey, that's going to be great for us. Our generation, you know, we got it lucky. We get to drive the cars. In the future, it could all fall apart, and that planet can become pretty hostile to us if we're unfortunate. And I don't think things like electric cars will save us. I really don't. I think it's more manufacturing. It's more tearing resources out of the ground. You know, because all of this happens in like a society where things are structured just around the pursuit of profit, or like the creation of wealth through that ends. And so, you know, like ventures aren't run through, you know, a balanced assessment of like impact on society and environment and any of these things. It's about opportunism and creating profit, which is, you know, inherently a great system for getting things off the ground. Goodness me, like, you know, it makes things happen, but what are the things it's making happen? Are they going to take in the bigger picture every time? The answer is no. So many decisions that are made for the means of advancing society through the profit model are just made for the profit and the wealth of the people that enjoy it. And so many times can the environment and other things be just put to the wayside, you know, and we exploit the planet to create all of this wealth that's eventually just, you know, gonna roll back up on us, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna be over at some point. Gamer Chick says it's scary how much of our brains waves are alive. Get out of my head. There'll be a few other people in chat. Some people see it like this, some people don't. It's just, you know, it's all ideas and it's all ways of looking at the world, right? Depends on how you make the electricity. There are plenty of renewable ways to create it that don't hurt the environment, says Average Martin. Okay, so put it like this. We say it doesn't hurt the environment, but that's just oversimplification. Everything we do affects our environment. If we make an electric car, the electric car is made through means of production that has fossil fuels burned and waste involved. You know, think of all the manufacturing plants. How were they built? So then again, like electricity. Okay, so you get your electricity from a dam, but you have to build a dam you have to rip materials out of the ground, you have to build the dam, it's going to affect ecosystems. Okay, so we get it from solar panels. Right, so the materials that are made from solar panels have to come out of the ground using you know, damaging methods for getting all the rare metals and, you know, all these other things. And then you've got to transport the goods around with the current infrastructure, which has all been built on opportunism. So if you're going to transport goods around, a lot of the time it's going to come from fossil fuels, right? So like, okay, we'll use wind energy, right? So where do those metals come from? Like, what you've got to realize is as a population, the amount of us, we're expanding all the time. It might curve off. There are lots of theories, really good ones actually, really sound ideas on how population curve will kind of hit a point around 10 billion and it will settle there. But that's still 10 billion people, and so these extend to massive amounts of resources required to create renewable energy. Renewable energy, great idea, fantastic, but it's, you know, it's too little too late, it looks like. These things needed to be done 100 years ago, but our current system for running the world has just had a stranglehold on its own objective, you know? Ivan the Minecrafter says, I think we've moved from deep Sumer to depressed Sumer. look, I can definitely feel like a depressing feeling talking about this stuff, but you're also talking about something so big, it's so beyond you. Like, you've got to be able to push it out of your mind, as sad as that sounds. Like, I get like this every now and then. I think it's healthy to get down a little bit about this stuff, because it's real. It's around you, like, keep you in touch with reality a bit. I don't know. I want to hear from the people that don't agree with me. Problems don't ever go away by ignoring them, says Draco. Yeah, but like, there's this whole thing about like what can you do, but I got the faintest idea in how you turn around what's happening on this planet. Billions of people, multiple countries. It's absurd, like what you're up against. So I'll discuss it with all of y'all. But then I'm going to have to tune it out again later on, because it's just madness. It's just chaos and madness otherwise. Yes, I'm totally with you, X, but we have to put resources into updating infrastructure to move towards a more sustainable future, says Mickey's Gun. Alright, I'd agree. I agree with what you said. We do have to do that, but if you think about the scale that it's got to happen on, it's absolutely enormous for the infrastructure of the entire planet. If it had happened 100 years ago, you know, and we had a better idea of these concepts back then, and the power and the means to influence the direction of society in the right way, then maybe. But to me, just all the statistics, the studies, all the stuff, information you find online, it just looks grim. And that's when people aren't even trying to be grim talking about it. That's just me, like, sort of reading between the lines of all this statistical information about what's happening in the world. Do you know that computers are also bad for the environment, says Backit Vet. Yeah, of course. They're made out of like a bunch of rare metals that have to get taken out of the ground. I mean, and they suck electricity all day. Let's go to the noises in the ear, because I've been waffling again. Veterinary the Patrican says, cheer. P-hacking is when you look at dozens of parameters of a survey group to try and identify something that is statistically significant. This is scientific bad practice. An example of this is red wine, which is, of course, bad for you. Yes, I think I know what you're assessing there. It's like when you look... This is like the conspiracy theory stuff, it sounds like. There's a parallel here. It's when you look at like a bunch of things and you try and pick out the things that you can kind of relate to one another. It's not a proper way to actually draw correlation. Like, it's lazy, and it's yeah, not that great. Let's put the sand in here. Thought I had another bit of smooth sandstone, but apparently not. Montreal says France had electric cars in the 1920s. They've had cars that can run off potatoes, they can have cars that run off of water, and the patents get brought up by the people who make cars that run off of different things, because they're protecting their interest. And that is just another example of how the system we have just has... Ugh. Yeah, do I need to say any more? Veterinary, thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate it. Riffanaut is here, resubscribing for 27 months in a row. Riffanaut, thank you so much for your 27 months of support. We also got LCS Pro 420 subscribing. Thank you, LCS Pro. Thank you, everyone. I do appreciate you hanging out with me and listening to my crazy waffles. Average Martin says, oh, I agree. Should have been implemented years ago, but if we don't change our current system to something better, then there is no turning back. We have the resources already built. It's just implementing them and converting them. Some countries are using bottles to create buildings. I know about that. That's cool. It also smells and stinks. That's more or less what I mean. So I agree with you. Again, I do agree. Like, changing in the right direction is fantastic. Now, you know there's a but coming, right? There's always a but coming, jeez. Is that this stuff just seems so incrementally small and not... It's like fringe stuff that is not at the heart of like our global system or whatever. And it is just going to make tiny, tiny differences where it needs to become massively adopted. I mean, I do like many little things. Like I package up. You know, today I did it a couple of times. I rip apart my trash, so I put the plastics in one pile and the cardboard or paper in the other. and I like try not to leave the tap running when I'm brushing my teeth, and I try and have a short shower, and maybe doing all of that is nothing compared to having this machine running, right, and streaming with electricity. But if I'm going to weigh up every little thing that I'm going to do, it's going to be mad. But I try and do loads of these little things. Like, I always turn off like the lights when I'm not in a room, things like that. And some people leave them on, and it drives me nuts. If I go around some of the house, like, you're not in this room, turn off the light. Oh, Asuma Light Patrol. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. The old Asuma Light Patrol over here. Let's get another batch of these going. We've got a noise in the ear from Yowaka. Resubscribed for 7 months in a row. Yowaka, thank you ever so much for your support. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the stream. I hope you're having a good time. Ivan the Minecrafter says, that actually has a proper name. The Trap of Einstellung. Starting out with an experiment, and you know what you want to see from the experiment. So, yeah, it's in the results, you see it. That's actually, I think that's a little bit different from what was just being described. The other one was about, like, cherry picking information and then joining it together, right? I think what you're describing is when you set out to do a test, to find something, and you discover what you find. But the problem is that by setting out to discover it, you can influence the outcome, right? Something like that. Something like that. Berserker Loon says, getting people to turn off the light when they leave a room seems an impossible task. I know, right? Like, it's just so many people don't have it built into them. And you know what? To be fair, like, why would you? You flick the light switch, the light turns on. You never have to question it. But it's just, you know, it's just something I've been taught as a kid. Some of these values get passed down and some don't, or some people don't consider it, and that's fine. Like, cool, we're human, we're imperfect, but like, this is why it's such a problem. Like, this is what we are as people. It's innately like that. We're disconnected from nature and reality so much that those kind of concepts don't really come to the forefront of our thinking when they really should. They should come to the forefront of our thinking a lot. You know, I like watching Star Trek, like Next Generation, and they meet these other civilizations that have all these different values, and I often wonder, like, what would it be like if you could go and tweak our DNA right at the beginning of our evolution as a species, right? And you could just tweak some dials and change some statistics, and you could make it so that we were inherently a little bit more compassionate and a little bit more aware, a little bit more in tune with our environments and realities, and then maybe like society could just be so different as an end result of that, you know. Gamer Chick says, a huge portion of my life I've lived without power. I lived a survivalist lifestyle up until 16 years old. That's great though, I think. Like, that you've got a stronger bond with reality and Mother Nature if you've like lived closer to it, you know. The Doodle Dragon says, I read that it's unpractical and isn't really going to bring change by pushing in the general to do things like taking short showers because it's corporate fueled. What we need to do is stop supporting big corporations that use fossil fuels and labour, etc. The Doodle Dragon, I think that sounds like an assessment of what's more effective. It's still a difference to take a short shower, but you're right about some things being corporate fueled. Like, when there are environmental movements and whatnot, it's, I mean, I'm reaching a bit here because I haven't thought about this or don't have it quite in my mind, but in corporate interest, it could be better to go, wait a minute, let's use our advertising power to get people to take short showers rather than boycott the showers that we make from fossil fuels, right? Let's not tell them about the one that's made from the healthier stuff, like things like that, because again, those corporate interests, that money-making interest, always fueling things. Our society isn't set up around like a balanced perspective of what our people's needs, what other planets need. It's set up around, you know, wealth and generating and creating, which, you know, also does feed some of those needs. It also damages things like the environment as well. Anyway, yeah, you're right. Like, sometimes the bigger thing to do is to not buy that type of car or whatever. Buy a second-hand car. If you're thinking of getting a Tesla, don't. Buy a second-hand car. Like, if you look into it, that car's already been manufactured. A massive portion of... Didn't we go over this the other day? I watched something where they updated the statistics. I think it's better to buy an electronic car than it is a petrol one at the moment. It never used to be. It used to be more environmentally damaging to buy a Tesla. I can't remember if it's swayed to now buying a second-hand car is better than buying a Tesla. Basically, you got to think of it like the creation of the car has a massive environmental footprint. So if you buy one that's already been bought and used, you're not recreating that footprint to some extent. But anyway, you know, supply and demand factors into that. We got noises in the air from Chaser, Yahomie, and CVRT Ops. Thank you to the both of you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I just made the peace symbol in my hand. And I don't even have the webcam on, so you never saw that. You never saw that. I don't know why I made the peace symbol. I just did. Okay, we got more of this stuff to make. This is what we are making, peeps. We are making this. Did I do a derp and use the wrong thing? I don't think I did, actually. Sometimes I use the wrong recipe and it uses up the dice that I just created. Right, there's lots of long messages in chat. Too much focus on money making, still a learning. The love of learning, says Draco. I like that.
3.
If you buy new, keep it for 20 years. Don't trade it in every 5 years. I agree with that as well, yeah. I still drive my Volvo, made in 1999, that I brought in 2001. I'm going to drive it until it's too expensive to fix up. That's great, Kitten. That's, you know, really good. Make it last. That's another thing. Making things last a long time. That's another ethic that I think has sort of been lost. It used to be that older generations, when there was less wealth, couldn't afford to replace stuff, so you'd make things last longer. These days, people might throw away a t-shirt just because they don't like the design anymore. You know, like, that's what we do as humans. Oh, it drives me nuts. I do it too, probably. Like, if I were to assess some of the things I do, definitely more inclined to the more preservist and, yeah, that side of things. But, oh, I'm sure I probably do something stupid every now and then. Something lazy. Right, we've got to get this stuff out of here. Peeps, we've got to get it out of here. Chief, oh, okay, wait, we've got big messages. Moderang says, but how long will you have that car? You have to weigh in how long you have each car. Yeah, there's that as well, weigh in. That's the thing though, like we live in an environment, like a society and an environment are constantly cycling things like cars when they're not broken. Get a new one just because we can. It's so ridiculous. The other thing is like, do you want to be working all your life? You know, stop buying new cars. I noticed some people who like don't have a lot of like money saved up or whatever will just spend. And I'm like, if you're gonna spend, you're kind of spending your retirement away, right? You be conservative and clever with money. You make the things you buy last. That's what I try and do. I made my last computer last 7 years. You know, had a couple of upgrades. Really pushed that thing as far as I could. If I bought a new PC every couple of years, that's just money that I'm throwing away, you know? And going back to that Star Trek little point, like, I always wonder, like, in our genetics, in our makeup, our DNA, like, we are disposed to being on certain different levels of the scale, and the influences around us in the world, our upbringing, things that we've seen, to how we look and value things. And I always just wonder, what if you go tweak the dials? What if we could just inherently know and have better values as a whole for like, oh, we've got to make this thing last, I can't throw this thing away. Another thing we do is we throw things away we don't want in the trash rather than giving them to charity shops or put them in places where they can go to someone who wants that, you know, instead of them buying something. Ace says there is always the next best thing to buy. Some people just have to have what's new. Yeah, some people do. But I really do think, though, I don't think when we were, you know, living in the jungle, right, to be a bit funny, people didn't want the latest thing. Like, these are all concepts put in our head through our upbringing, through advertising. Like, our desires, you know, advertising companies, they know us sometimes better than we know ourselves, and they can get in our minds and they can create these concepts of wanting to have and need and stuff and buy things, got to have the latest things, play on your social pressures. Like, it's like living in the Matrix sometimes, right? You know, we're played to. And, you know, I think everyone understands if you go to a tribe in the jungle and you're like, here's the latest iPad, you know, oh, I'll put that over here and sit on it. You know? Hey, and obviously iPads do cool things. We live in a cool age of entertainment and stuff, but it's all about you. It's all about your brain, your mind. You know, we are. Oh jeez, I don't even know where I'm going with this. Just gone complete paranoia mode. I'm gonna break this thing, right? This is smart. Now my brain's kicking in. Oh, was that literally the last of it? You gotta be kidding me. I think of doing that right at the last bit. Jeez. People treat life like they are branding themselves constantly now. This is an issue, says Tuxeban. Yeah, people wearing Adidas and Nike. I've always tried to not wear logo stuff, but like, you're a walking billboard in a way. It's really oddly corporate and strange how people want to identify with brands. Chaser, your homie, says, my PCs go for 10 years for me, with just a GPU and RAM upgrades if needed. Then when I get the new one, the old one becomes my mother's new PC, and her old one is now a 20-year-old PC. It's finally retired to the e-waste recycling. That's great. That's great that you made that stuff last long. Awesome. I like that. I like that way of doing and thinking. Like, I've got an iPad, but it was just a hand-me-down, you know? I don't need to buy the latest iPad. Why do I need to do that? I use it once in a blue moon. Anyway, peeps, I hope you enjoyed this stream. Jeez, we just went full Matrix there, didn't we? We went deep in the hole. I'm gonna go turn all that stuff into concrete, and then tomorrow morning we're gonna build with that concrete. How cool is that? Yeah, so this is the end of the stream, as you might have guessed. Massive thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you as always for your subscribing, resubscribing, donating and cheering. Support makes a difference, and I thank you for it. Right now we're going to do a raid, a riggedy raid on... Do you know what? I'm gonna pick a... Oh, wait, there we go. Draftmorg. Draftmorg is streaming. Go check out his wonderful world, peeps. Stick around and check it out. This will be uploaded to the second channel if you want to subscribe over there so you can watch the full stream. And that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.